Well, the big video screens here at White Hart Lane, which I guess are as big as any stadium in the Premier League, they've been showing highlights of Tottenham's Carling Cup final win over Chelsea last season. And despite the terrible start to this campaign that this club has endured under Juan de Ramos, the confidence is back now. Tottenham feel well prepared to defend their crown in this competition. Of course, tonight's visitors know more than most about the League Cup. Liverpool have won it 7 times in the past, and that is more than any other club. Well, here at White Hart Lane 6 nights ago, Harry Redknapp picked his strongest team for the UEFA Cup win over Dinamo Zagreb. Plenty changes this evening. Aurelio Gomes does keep his place in goal. Harry obviously wanting the Brazilian goalkeeper to grow in confidence with the rest of the team after the shaky start to his career he's had in England. Alan Hutton returns at right back. Vedran Chorluka will play in the centre alongside Michael Dawson. Gareth Bale is back at left back. Then in midfield, Aaron Lennon, Didier Zakora, Tom Huddleston and Jamie O'Hara, with Pavlyuchenko and Fraser Campbell, the young forward on loan from Manchester United, who's getting his first start under Harry Redknapp. What are your impressions of that team? Because keeping Zakora and Huddleston in there and keeping the goalkeeper, it's a sort of strong core. It's not like we saw with Arsenal and with Manchester United last night, Mark.
Oh, no big wholesale changes. But, as Harry said in his programme notes, Connor, winning is a great habit, and he wants to continue that. Look at the team. It's got balance. The players are. Dawson's getting all the players in together now. Obviously, he wants to talk about keeping this good run going. And everybody who's in the team, like Harry was saying, and training's on the up. Being at the training ground's good. And these boys coming in now, Lennon and O'Hara, want to keep their place and get back into the team what plays in the Premier League. So I think it's a good, well-balanced team.
The Liverpool team has more of experimentation about it. Cavalieri, the Brazilian goalkeeper. Degen, the Swiss man at right back. Hupia and Agger in the centre. Docena is the left back. Plessis and Lucas holding in midfield. Eljar and Babel getting forward on the wings. And Ngo partnering Torres up front. And how delighted Liverpool fans will be to see Fernando Torres back in the starting 11 for Liverpool. He missed 6 games. He came on as a late substitute at the weekend. And this is all about getting him back to speed tonight. We're underway here. Tottenham in their traditional white jerseys, dark shorts, white socks. They play from left to right. Liverpool wear all red. And immediately the ball played forward by Alan Hutton with the shaven hair up onto the chest of Pavlyuchenko just outside the penalty area. Pavlyuchenko, who scored the winner when these sides met just 11 days ago in the Premier League. This is Aaron Lennon, right-hand side of midfield. Zakora tries to take it in his stride on the edge of the penalty area. Agger and Hupia between them clear it away. And then over on the far side of the field, Campbell tries to keep the ball in play. Eventually it does trickle out, but it's okay for Tottenham because the throw-in is awarded in their direction. Bale is then caught in possession by Eljar, and the referee brings a stop to proceedings there. The ball had gone out of play, and that will be a throw-in to Tottenham midway inside the Liverpool half. And Tottenham, who everything they've touched has seemed to turn to gold since Harry Redknapp's arrival. They're looking for an early promising start here. Bale gets to the byline down the left-hand side. He won't keep the ball in play, and that is a goal kick to Liverpool and their Brazilian goalkeeper Cavalieri.
Just looking at that ball when it came to Hutton, he fired it up there to Pavlyuchenko, and Pavlyuchenko took it down well on his chest and, looked at Lennon. If he just comes in off the line there, he can take it off Pavlyuchenko's chest. He's in a shooting position.
Tottenham have scored 18 goals in their 5 games under Harry Redknapp before tonight, as Chorluka clears up towards the halfway line. Hupia gets up and wins dominantly in the air, and Chorluka gets up again and wins it for Tottenham, and then Lucas finds Babel for Liverpool on the left hand side. Bit of blue in his boots as he then gets support from Docena behind him. Early ball into the penalty area, might have struck an arm. If it did, it was the arm of the French striker Ngo, and that is a free kick out to Tottenham just inside their own penalty area. Still 0-0.
Don't think there's any doubt about it. Connor, the ball came in, it was slightly behind Ngo, just stuck up his left arm and just controlled it, and he's taken up a more central position just off Fernando Torres, and Babel's just on this left-hand side here.
Liverpool's defeat to Tottenham the week before last was the first time they'd lost to Spurs in almost 5 years. Hupia is wearing the captain's armband for Liverpool tonight. Jamie Carragher is available on the bench as Degen rolls it back to his goalkeeper Cavalieri. O'Hara tries to close him down. It was a rush clearance by the Brazilian goalkeeper, but it got as far as the halfway line, and then there's a strong challenge on Campbell, the Tottenham striker. That'll be a free kick to Tottenham inside the Liverpool half, a central location as well. Taken quickly and swung out towards Lennon on the right hand side, wearing gloves tonight at White Hart Lane. Whipped in cross with the right boot, close to Pavlyuchenko, but no firm connection from the Russian. Ball goes out of play the far side of the field.
Well, quick free kick, wasn't it? Tom Huddleston whipped it right out here in front of us to Lennon. Got past his man really well down this right-hand side, and that was a vicious ball. So quick, fired across. Pavlyuchenko just couldn't get his head on it. 5
Live Sport from the BBC, live at White Hart Lane this Wednesday evening. The Carling Cup 4th round, Tottenham 0, Liverpool 0. We've played exactly 3 minutes now, and Dosena comes down the left for Liverpool. The near touchline to us as Babel tries to weave in field, and between them Lennon and Hutton tried to stop him. Babel continues. The Dutchman gets to a crossing position, but when he does strike it in left-footed, it comes off the body of Alan Hutton, and that goes out for the first corner for Liverpool down the left-hand side.
See Lennon getting back there, trying to help his right-back Hutton, and then obviously the ball ran loose. It was just a simple blocked cross.
Ryan Babel himself places the ball for the corner. Dosena's come over to offer a short option. Plenty of bodies lurking in the centre and waiting for this as Babel prepares to swing it in. And here it comes, right footed towards the front post, where it's flicked on by Lucas across the face of goal, but not at any moment was a danger for Tottenham, and they clear up towards Fraser Campbell, close to the halfway line, and then edged back inside his own half, and then Chorluka has kicked the ball out of play. He thought one of his teammates was down injured.
He was.
By the time the ball had gone out of play, though, that player, who was Zakora, had got back to his feet, and Chorluka turned around and said, I could have sworn I saw someone down injured.
I think it was a collision on the edge of the box as the ball was played in. Zakora went down. I think he was looking for something off the referee. Didn't happen.
Sportingly, Liverpool have given the throw back anyway, given possession back to Tottenham.
Well, we can see from the replay that it was a block by Sami Hyypiä. One of those things that teams working on the training grounds, trying to get one man free. And Torres got free, but the ball didn't come to him.
Tottenham 0, Liverpool 0, early stages at White Hart Lane. We'll keep you up to date with events at the other games in the Carling Cup tonight. Chelsea against Burnley at Stamford Bridge. Sunderland against Blackburn at the Stadium of Light, as well as the games in the SPL. As Hutton here, the former Rangers player, gives it up towards Pavlyuchenko, and that's a lovely ball to O'Hara. First time stop from Tottenham, up towards Campbell, caught by a strong challenge from Hyypiä, and immediately Fraser Campbell feeling the sting of that. It was a fair challenge from the veteran Liverpool defender, but a very, very firm one.
It was, and I can tell you, as a player, when you get tackled that hard and it's fair, you don't like it. Campbell just got caught, ball and man. Very good, very strong, very good tackle from Sami Hyypiä.
That'll sting on a cold night, but big test tonight for Fraser Campbell, who, remember, during the summer, Hull City bid £7 million to sign him from Manchester United. Here he is, into the penalty area, but beaten to the ball by the goalkeeper. Cavalieri quick off his line and gathering that up. Harry Redknapp saying he really wanted to have a good look at Fraser Campbell tonight, and the youngster's been involved quite a lot in the early stages already, as Plessis in the centre of midfield rolls it over to the right hand side. Degen is up from right back, turns back into the centre, gives it to Hyypiä, and Hyypiä under pressure from Pavlyuchenko rolls it back to Cavalieri. With Darren Bent scoring the goals, and at the rate that he's been doing, he's up to 11 now, it's putting such pressure on the likes of Campbell and Pavlyuchenko that they've got to try and keep up now. As Liverpool try to come in and attack themselves, the ball goes too far in front of Ngo, and that goes out of play for a goal kick to Spurs.
Well, it's always good, you know, when somebody's scoring a lot of goals in the team, and I know the strikers will say, well, as long as we're winning, it doesn't really matter who's scoring. In the end, we all know that the strikers will be judged on their goals to games. But you know, if the team are creating chances, and Fraser Campbell will be watching thinking, I know Darren Bent's had a lot of chances. If I get in this team and they create the same chances to me, I fancy my chance at taking them.
Bent, who has scored 11 times now, second on the list is Pavlyuchenko, and he's only got 3. So it does show how important Darren Bent has been to Tottenham this evening. He's on the bench for this game, as down the right hand side comes Torres, tries to break into the penalty area. Bale is there, can't keep it in play, has to surrender possession by putting it out for a throw into Liverpool down the right hand side. 6 3/4 minutes played at White Hart Lane, 0-0 between Tottenham and Liverpool in the Carling Cup, as Degen tries to get into the position to send in a cross. He'll roll it back to Lucas, and then low towards El Jar, and that's easily dealt with, and Tottenham clear it long into the Liverpool half, where Agger, who's the only Liverpool player who is starting tonight, who also started against West Brom at the weekend. He'll give it back to Cavalieri. The goalkeeper sends it high up over the halfway line. Erratic header up into the air from Dawson, who went back behind him. Chorluka was able to clear it away. Chorluka playing centre half for Tottenham tonight. Dawson alongside him. Hutton at right back and Bale at left back for Tottenham. Neat touch in midfield by Lucas for Liverpool, and it's helped forward here by Dosena to Babel, running into the penalty area now. Good injection of pace, and he's still going here, Babel, and he tries to find it off to Torres. Torres can't turn, and that wasn't quite as snappy and quick as we expected from Fernando Torres. Evidence there of how he's coming back from injury, but Babel very nearly creating the best attack of the game.
Super play from Babel, coming off the left-hand side, just attacking Lennon, and Hutton just getting in between, and then Huddleston came back. He didn't dare make an attempt to tackle in the penalty area, and Babel was unlucky that he really couldn't force a shooting opening. But as he slipped it square to Torres' touch was loose, wasn't it? It's usually neat and tidy, and he gets a good shot in, and he was forced away from goal.
You expected Torres just turn and shoot all in one motion.
Yeah, just he takes a touch, it stays within a yard or so, and just short back lift, and he fires in from that kind of area. But this is what happens. When you miss 6 games, it doesn't matter how your rehabilitation goes. You come back, you do all your treadmill work, and you get back out there and start training with the players. It's that touch, that match fitness, that's what you miss.
That is why Fernando Torres is in the Liverpool team tonight, to get back up to scratch. Liverpool play Bolton on Saturday, then they host Fulham before their next Champions League game, which is against Marseille. But Babel just looked like Thierry Henry in his pomp as he burst into the penalty area there down the left-hand side. And Liverpool, with just a reminder to Tottenham that they have come here with ambitions of their own of getting through to the Carling Cup quarter-final this evening. Dosena at left back, wearing white boots, chips it up over the halfway line. Still 0-0 here at the Lane as Huddleston plays a 1-2 with Pavlyuchenko. That's good stuff. And then there's space for O'Hara on the far side. Just to the left of the penalty area. Low cross in. Disappointing one from O'Hara. Straight at Hupia. He'll clear it away. And now Dagen should be able to complete the clearance. But Liverpool give it away. And Campbell, left wing for Tottenham, over by the touchline. An early lunge by Dagen was not a very sensible option. Or was it Plessis over there? In any event, that could well be the first yellow card of the evening. It certainly will be from the referee, Mike Riley. I
don't think there's any question about it. Good play from Campbell. He waits for him to come, then he lifts the ball over his foot, and I think he catches him just as he kind of like as he went to ground. Campbell, he just caught him on the left ankle, I think, and he's back on his limping a little bit, but there's the first name in the book.
So the first yellow card comes inside the opening 10 minutes here at White Hart Lane. Tottenham 0, Liverpool 0 on 5 Live Sport from the BBC. And this is a good position for Tottenham now. Lennon is standing over the free kick, and O'Hara's out there as well. In fact, Lennon just drifting infield now, so it'll definitely be O'Hara. Left-footed into the centre, looking for Pavlyuchenko, beaten in the air. Tottenham pick it up outside the penalty area. Huddleston into Zakora, all the way back into his own half, and releases possession to Hutton. Back to Huddleston on the right-hand side. An ambitious pass, a wild lash at the ball, but accurately finds O'Hara. And then a few touches from him. High into the centre. Pavlyuchenko's rising. Tries to nut it down. Appeals for a penalty as Campbell appeared to be pushed in the back as he went for that ball. The referee is happy that play can continue. And Liverpool perhaps with a bit of a let-off there.
There was a big roar from the crowd behind there, wasn't there? I think it was Hupia on Campbell. Good knockdown from Pavlyuchenko. And as Campbell tried to arrive in the box for the knockdown, he appeared to be bundled over by Hupia. The referee had a really good view of it. Said no, nothing doing.
Fraser Campbell has yet to score for Tottenham. This is his 6th appearance for the club. Let's get an update from Stamford Bridge. They also started at 7:45. Chelsea against Burnley tonight. Alistair Bruce Ball.
10 minutes played. It's Chelsea 0, Burnley 0. No real goalmouth action of note as yet. Luis Felipe Scolari not totally happy in this first 10 minutes with this new look Chelsea side that's out this evening. Has been out to the touchline a couple of times to tinker with things. Burnley fairly comfortable so far. Didier Drogba back in the starting lineup. He looks up for it. It's 0-0.
Thanks very much. 0-0 also here between Tottenham and Liverpool at White Hart Lane. When these sides met 11 days ago, Liverpool had already scored by now. Lennon attacks down the right hand side, overcooks a cross that's going to go all the way over everyone in the centre and out of play on the far side. Let's go to the Stadium of Light. Sunderland against Blackburn tonight. Peter Slater.
And it's goalless here. Much of the early possession to Sunderland. Some good touches from young Jordan Henderson on his debut. Best moment, Djibril Cissé outpacing Kijanaishvili, and the cross fell to Kieran Richardson. Powerful shot from him, deflected for a corner. Sunderland 0, Blackburn 0.
Thanks, Peter. Good crowd here at White Hart Lane tonight. It is the Carling Cup, but there's just a few seats empty in the far top right-hand corner of the stand opposite us. Otherwise, it's a pretty full house tonight in North London. Let's go to Celtic Park. Always big crowds there. Celtic play Kilmarnock tonight. Roddy Forsyth.
Sorry, Connor, not a full house tonight. And those who've stayed away are wise. Nothing to tell you, so I won't bore you. Nothing each.
Thank you very much. That's put me in my place now. Holy follow that. Andy Gillis, get me out of jail at Motherwell.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a decent crowd in here tonight, Connor. Only a few unused seats, and 12 minutes gone. I can tell you about a couple of things that have happened. Both the shots, both from Rangers, one from Lafferty, one from Boyd, both saved by Smith. 0-0. How's that?
Thanks, Andy. Tottenham attack down the left-hand side. O'Hara picked out by a pass from Campbell, but he just couldn't manoeuvre himself into a position to have a shot. As it's played by Plessis up towards the halfway line on the far side. Hearts have taken the lead against Hamilton in the SPL this evening. First goal of our evening kickoffs on this Wednesday on 5 Live Sport. Throw in close to the halfway line for Liverpool will be taken by Degen, the Swiss international who's yet to feature in the Premier League. He did play in the last round of the Carling Cup when Liverpool beat Crewe, but Liverpool fans have seen so little of him. He has been injured. Long ball has been played forward towards Torres, and again, uncharacteristically, he didn't control a ball. It wasn't the easiest one, but a player of his calibre, you would expect him, when 100% match fit, he would have controlled that.
I can tell you now, that was for him, bread and butter. Lovely ball from Daniel Agger, left side of the centre-back position. Diagonal into the penalty area. He faked the shot and tried to come back on the inside, Torres, and the ball just bounced under his foot. Once again, that's just the rustiness.
Last season, Torres became the first Liverpool player in more than 20 years to score 20 league goals in a campaign. The greater majority of them did come at Anfield. Tonight looking for a goal at White Hart Lane in the Carling Cup. Free kick to Liverpool inside their own half, and captain for the evening, Sami Hyypiä, preparing to take. Might be getting on in years. 35 he turned in October, Hyypiä. He's still got the blonde hair as it's played long and it bounces once and carries all the way through to the Tottenham keeper Gomez, who's not been tested so far this evening in the Tottenham goal. Lennon rolls it back to Dawson, who's wearing a bandage on his left wrist, and then across to Chorluka. Heavy stubble, and back into the centre to Dawson again. And Liverpool just backing off Tottenham here, letting them have the ball, and it's the first sort of lull in the game so far, which has been played at a pretty high pace so far.
Yeah, well, we took in 40 minutes into the game and no goalkeepers had a shot to make. And you're thinking that Spurs, the home team, they've had a lot of possession. They haven't really created anything.
Well, at the weekend, Tottenham play against Fulham in the Premier League. Harry Redknapp's already describing it as a really big game, but he's put in the likes of Zakora and Huddleston and Lennon this evening. They'll all expect to be playing at the weekend. Just 3 points between Fulham in 10th place and West Brom, who are at the bottom. It's so tight, and a few weeks could change an awful lot of things. The past 2 weeks have changed so much for Tottenham, of course, as Gomez in the sky blue goalkeeping jersey bowls it out to Bale with the white boots, and into Zakora wearing the short sleeves this evening. Over into space to Hutton, who's wearing golden boots and challenged by Babel, and Hutton probably causing troubles for himself there. He's won a free kick, but he sort of worked his way into trouble. He's a bit fortunate to get the free kick.
I think he was very lucky. I think the referee was generous. He looked up for a pass and then tried to fake down the line and come inside, and Babel read it, and he stumbled and went over, and I think it appeared to the referee like it was a foul. I just thought that he lost his balance.
Tottenham, the reigning Carling Cup holders, of course. Hutton plays it long towards the Liverpool penalty area, too high for Pavlyuchenko, and that carries through to Cavalieri, the Brazilian goalkeeper for Liverpool, just his second appearance for the club. Fabio Capello is here, hoping to see, I'm sure, the likes of Bentley and Bent later on. No Englishman in the Liverpool starting 11 tonight. Not much use to Mr. Capello as De Sena tries to come down the left-hand side for Liverpool, and Huddleston hoops the ball out of play. Throw into the visitors down the left-hand side. 16 minutes played now. 0-0. A reminder, if it does stay like this through to 90 minutes, we would have extra time tonight. We will have a winner one way or the other, even if it's got to go to penalties.
I've just got to say that Benitez is 15 yards in front of us. He's out in the technical area and he's just complaining. De Sena's just giving it foul throw away. I mean, it's so rare. The player lifts his foot up after he's thrown the ball. I mean, it's just basic schoolboy stuff. And I just think he wants to, Plessis and Lucas to get involved, get on the ball and start to keep some possession.
We are very close to the technical area here. We're just behind Rafael Benitez. Certainly an indication of some colourful language coming from him. Almost as colourful as Mark Bright's scarf, which we're going to have to get him to explain later on, because it's all the colours of the rainbow. Very pretty it is. As Torres comes across the edge of the penalty area and is beaten in possession by Chorluka. Do you want to explain it, or just leave it at that?
Joseph's, isn't it?
Mark Bright's
he's having a night off.
Mark Bright's Technicolor scarf keeping us all awake here as O'Hara battles for possession inside his own half, briefly loses the ball, but Liverpool can't do much with it. Zakora in a left-back position rolls it into Choluka, and Choluka clears up towards the halfway line. No one there for Tottenham. 17 and a half minutes played. 0-0 still here at White Hart Lane. We've yet to have a shot on target from either team. And Gomez, inside his penalty area, rolls it out short to Hutton in the right full-back position. And Hutton, pressured by Babel, doesn't fancy taking him on this time as he was cut out last time. He just rolls it back to his goalkeeper. Long clearance, picked up inside the centre circle by El Jar, who has appeared quite a few times in the Liverpool first team, if you like, their Premier League team, as Rafa Benitez has thrown him on as a sub on a few occasions. And he'll give it to Ngo on the left-hand side. Ngo, a player who came in during the summer, £1.5 million signing from Paris Saint-Germain. And
he played really well in some pre-season friendlies, and the fans are quite excited by him.
Well, apparently he only scored once for Paris Saint-Germain in all of last year, which doesn't sound too promising for a striker, but he is still young. He's only 19 years of age. Here's Lucas on the halfway line, who's played for Brazil. And when they try to come in field, it's intercepted by Dawson, and Tottenham work it out towards Lennon. Now he's got a bit of space. Babel sprinting back to get into possession. Lennon chips it towards the far side. Pavlyuchenko needs a disciplined piece of control. He doesn't produce it. He sort of swung a boot at it. Campbell's going to try and rectify it on the edge of the penalty area. Briefly wins the ball back for Tottenham. That's good play for Campbell. Aaron's second by Aaron. Really good cover on the ground. There was even appeals. It might have struck his arm. Lennon in the end wins a corner, but that's the most exciting passage of play for some minutes now.
What a ball in from Bale. Great ball. Huddleston can't reach it, but it comes to Lennon. And what Lennon does is he fakes the shot, comes on his left foot and hits it. I think Daniel Agger throws himself down. Oh, suspicion of handball. Yeah, well, just looked like it from where we were. But good defending in the end.
Brave defending from Agger, throwing his body in the way of that shot. Tottenham have the corner. They take it now from O'Hara, very high into the centre, and headed away by Daniel Agger. Huddleston back into the centre. Dawson's header is saved by Cavalieri, and then quickly he sets Liverpool on the attack. That's a brilliant piece of distribution by the goalkeeper to find Babel in the Tottenham half. Tottenham recover well though. O'Hara and Zakora between them managed to win back possession, and O'Hara now comes on the attack down the right hand side, running against Tessena. Right foot across into the centre again is just too high. We've seen that a few times tonight with those crosses from the right wing. Tottenham hold on to the ball. There's a goal at Celtic. We'll be going there in just a moment as Bale has possession. Left wing for Tottenham up against El Jar, just trying to manoeuvre himself. Sends the ball one way, the defender tries to run around the other. El Jar though will come in and win possession back, and Liverpool should get it away. So let's go to the sparse surroundings of Celtic Park in just a moment, because Tottenham have almost created something here. No, Lennon's going to scoop it in. Ronnie All on his own has a goal at Celtic Park.
Yes, and I must say I was as surprised as you. Let me make it clear, Connor, that the attendance was low tonight. Fellow countryman of yours has scored. The boy from Cavan, who's made his way into the Celtic side, Killian Sheridan, getting a little flick from McDonald. 1-1 with the goalkeeper, put it away ever so tidy. It's a loss to GAA football, but a benefit to Celtic. 1-0 against Kilmarnock.
Thanks very much, Roddy. Hearts still 1-up against Hamilton tonight, and no goals so far between Motherwell and Rangers at Fir Park. Long ball over the top. Campbell's after it. Linesman's flag is raised. Well, he's been knocking on the door, Fraser Campbell, in the opening 20 minutes here. He obviously wants to impress tonight.
He's shown some good movement for me. The service hasn't been there quite yet. I mean, needs to strike up an understanding with the midfield players when he wants it over the top. But you know, he looks lively, and I think the more the games like this, it suits Liverpool, because they're just grinding it out a little at the moment.
21 minutes played here at White Hart Lane. It's not been a thriller so far, as Lucas finds Babel outside the penalty area. Good control, but surrounded by defenders, and possession really bullied off him, and Tottenham working hard to win the ball back. And Bale then with a sloppy clearance releases possession to Dagen, and Dagen down the right hand side. It's worked to Lucas, and Lucas back into the centre to Plessis, who's on a yellow card, and then a pass in front of Tessena that he sprints after the Italian and manages to keep the ball in play, and rolls it back into Tessena again, and then stretching under pressure from that man Fraser Campbell again. Liverpool lose possession, and it will be a Tottenham throw.
Well, you can just see that, you know, part of Harry, obviously the instruction went to the team as work together, you know, go in pairs, go and hunt the ball, go and press the ball, and the midfield players are all doing that really well. Fraser Campbell's coming back, Lennon's coming back, and even Pavlyuchenko at times is coming back and helping to put pressure on the ball.
Fraser Campbell recently celebrated his 21st birthday as Gomez bowls it out to Bale, and Bale down the left hand side to O'Hara. Inverness 0, Falkirk 1 now in the Clydesdale Bank Premier League. Here comes Lucas up to the halfway line for Liverpool. Rolls a low ball looking for Torres, intercepted by Chorluka, who does look at home in the heart of defence for a man who, certainly in his career in England, we're used to seeing him play at right back or maybe even in midfield, which I believe is his favourite position. We are midway through the first half here at White Hart Lane. It is Tottenham 0, Liverpool 0, and Simon Brotherton will talk you through to half-time.
Thanks, Connor. Liverpool haven't really got going here yet, have they, Mark? I mean, Gomez in the Tottenham goal hasn't really had anything to do.
Well, neither goalkeepers had a shot to save.
No, but Tottenham have looked more likely, haven't they, around the penalty area?
Yeah, flattered to deceive a little bit. Once they've got to the danger area, the sort of the last third, haven't really, even though there's been a couple of crosses splash in the box, they haven't really cut Liverpool open at the back. Any little slide rule passes down the side which have created one-on-ones.
Yet to come to life, really, this Carling Cup tie. Place in the last 8 at stake. Good crowd inside White Hart Lane here. Bad play by Spurs over on the far side, though, and Ngo has a chance to surge forward for Liverpool, but it's a weak ball into the middle. Doesn't reach Torres, who just shrugs his shoulders as Michael Dawson, captaining Spurs, brings it up towards the edge of the centre circle, plays it to his left to Didier Zakora. The Ivorian busily scurries over the halfway line, brings it towards the near side, the right. Tottenham kicking from left to right as we look in the first half. Hutton with a low ball in. Flag goes up against Fraser Campbell, and it will be a free kick to Liverpool inside their own penalty area. Fraser Campbell, Mark, has been there or thereabouts 3 or 4 times and hasn't quite had the lucky bounce, has he?
Yeah, it's my first look at him, live. I've obviously seen him a lot on the television, and I like his movement. He's got good pace and he's always looking to get in behind. I felt on that situation there he was really unlucky to be given offside. I thought he was level, but the touch wasn't there. But you're right, he does look threatening.
5 Live Sport, we're live at White Hart Lane. It's 0-0 here between Tottenham and Liverpool. No goals either in the Chelsea-Burnley match or Sunderland-Blackburn, also in the Carling Cup. In the SPL, Celtic 1-0 up against Kilmarnock, Hearts leading Hamilton 1-0 and Falkirk 1-0 up at Inverness. Those the only goals so far in our featured games. Throw into Tottenham deep inside their own half on the right, flicked on by Pavlyuchenko, only as far as Daniel Agger, who wellies the ball forward deep inside the Tottenham half. Torres lays it to his right to Elzar. Babbel's in space on the left, midway inside the Spurs half. Babbel just moves infield, nudges the ball forward towards Torres, who gets it caught between his feet, and away comes Zakora, tries to play it to the left-hand side. Pavlyuchenko on the halfway line, get away. It's a scruffy, meandering passage of play here. No real shape or pattern to what's going on.
Both sides are giving the ball away, and more so Liverpool really, they're not looking to get forward for me. I just think that Babbel's created the one bit of excitement running with the ball, and it looked fantastic, and it was threatening as well. But apart from that, it's just, I don't know, it's Liverpool.
It's just not very good, Mark, that's what you're trying to say, I think.
No, it's really, really poor.
Yeah, not a good game so far, but still plenty of time. You mentioned Babbel. There was a terrific run that he went on earlier. The one thing I just wonder about him is there's no doubt about his ability as an individual. Sometimes is it how he connects with the rest of the team that causes the problem, and maybe that's why Benitez feels he can't play him more often.
Well, you know what, if he was playing in my team as a winger, I'd be saying give him the ball as much as you can and then encourage him to run at the defender. When he ran at Hutton, Hutton backed off. Lennon came back to help, and he just went between the pair of them like they weren't there. And then he got into the 18-yard box. Huddleston came back and he thought, no, I better not, and he pulled his leg away, and he's virtually in a shooting position.
Tottenham 0, Liverpool 0. Spurs attacking down the right with Alan Hutton, shaven-headed figure. Lays the ball off to Lennon. Lennon, short pass inside towards Zakora. Works it across the centre of midfield to Huddleston. Long sleeve, shirt hanging out. Sprays the ball to Bale on the left. Level with the edge of the penalty area. Cross beyond the far post. Nobody there. 3 bounces, and it's out of play on the near side of the field. Let's find out how Chelsea and Burnley are getting on at Stamford Bridge. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Still goalless, 25 minutes played. Frank Lampard already on the field for the injured Belletti. Here's Drogba, edge of the box, beats one man. Drogba's in with the right foot, finds the bottom corner. Didier Drogba scores his first goal of the season for Chelsea and gives them the lead in this Carling Cup tie. It's Chelsea 1, Burnley 0. That's very good timing.
It's all about timing, isn't it, Brighty?
Life, it certainly is.
Well, if there's a goal here, hopefully we won't miss it. 0-0 between Spurs and Liverpool. Horrible sort of slice attempted clearance by Plessis, Damien Plessis, the young Frenchman playing in the heart of the Liverpool midfield, struggling to really settle down into the game so far. Got himself a booking as well for a lunge over on the far side. Hutton with a throw for Spurs. Takes a return ball from Pavlyuchenko. It bounces off his left shin to Zakora. And Zakora, rather inexplicably, kicks the ball 40 yards into his own half. And Chorluka collects possession and will start again for Tottenham. A real slow pace about it at the moment. Bale with a long ball forward, only onto the blonde head of Hopia. Lucas, the young South American in the heart of midfield, is challenged by O'Hara, and it's Liverpool's ball.
Referee's right on top of that there, and I can't understand what he thinks is a foul. O'Hara's hustling. He's close. He's close. He's just trying to win the ball, and the referee gives a foul.
Let's head off to the Stadium of Light. Sunderland playing Blackburn tonight. Peter Slater.
We've had 28 goalless minutes. Still Richardson's deflected shots, Sunderland's best. Blackburn, well, a couple of long-range efforts. The best from the young Dubliner Keith Tracy, which went just wide. He's also blotted his copybook. Yellow card from referee Rob Starrs for simulation, diving in the penalty area. Sunderland 0, Blackburn 0.
Thanks, Peter. The only goal in the Carling Cup so far tonight. Chelsea leading Burnley by 1-0. Didier Drogba with the goal. Let's find out about Motherwell and Rangers. Andy Gillies.
It's 0-0 here, Simon. 28 minutes gone. Rangers, though, should perhaps have been ahead a moment ago when Kenny Miller was put through by Chris Boyd. He was clear in the area, but he dithered, and somehow the Motherwell defence got back to get the ball away for a corner. 0-0.
Thanks, Andy. Spurs are on the attack, left-hand side of the field, midway inside the Liverpool half, with Gareth Bale. Bale, right-footed, swings the ball into the centre, headed away by Agger, but straight to O'Hara, and Tottenham will try again with Bale. Again wide on the left, flicked into the penalty area by Huddleston. Stretching for it was Campbell. He's always there when the ball goes anywhere near the goal, but Cavalieri comes out with it in his hands.
A little bit of drive there from midfield from Huddleston, a quick 1-2 with O'Hara, but once again I think obviously the game plan is to get the ball in the box as quick as you can.
David Ngo for Liverpool into the penalty area, right hand side, slips over, picks himself up, lays the ball in to the edge of the box. It's cleared away, right footed by Dawson, collected now by O'Hara with a high long ball through the middle. It was aimed in the general direction of Pavlyuchenko but didn't find him. Agger and Hopia combined to get the ball away. Lucas then forward 10 yards. Brighton are beating Swindon by 1-0 as Liverpool push forward. Lucas tries to thread the ball through in towards Torres. Brighton 1 up against Swindon. That's in the Johnston's Paint Trophy Southern Section quarter-final. Tottenham attack, left-hand angle of the penalty area. Pavlyuchenko puts it in low. It was aimed towards O'Hara and also Campbell waiting near the near post, but Liverpool clear. It's Tottenham's ball on the far side.
That's a little bit better, a little bit more drive from the midfield. O'Hara running at the defence there, just slipping Pavlyuchenko in. He went for the early cross. If he just takes it a little bit further, he can cut it back.
Fabio Capello will be gutted when he won't be able to leave early tonight because Darren Bentnut might come on till the last 10 minutes of the game. The England coach might have to stay a little bit longer than usual as Torres has possession, can't get past Dawson. Dawson's in the way. Chorluka helps him out and I think was just fouled by Ngo. So Tottenham will have a free kick, left hand side, about 10 yards short of the halfway line. 0-0 between Tottenham and Liverpool.
When you say there's no pattern of play, there is a pattern of play from Spurs where what they're trying, but with Liverpool I cannot see what, is it going square, are they keeping possession, are they going back? It's just nothing.
It's very disjointed, isn't it, Liverpool?
Very. And it must be frustrating. I'm looking at Torres, obviously a class act, and can't get a kick.
But they're not really getting in control in the middle of the midfield area, are they? No.
Lucas and Plessis, for me, nothing really.
Ball's just bounced out of play off Pavlyuchenko's chest over on the far side, midway inside the Liverpool half. Liverpool with Philippe Dagen, the Swiss international, signed from Dortmund during the summer, making his second appearance for them. Takes the throw, but Tottenham have got it back already on the halfway line with Didier Zakora forward towards Lennon in the middle of the field. Lays the ball off short towards Huddleston, sweeping pass towards the near side, the right. This is good play by Spurs. If Hutton can get there before the ball goes behind, no, he can't. And it just breaks down with that pass that had too much on it towards Alan Hutton, and Diego Cavalieri of Liverpool will have a goal kick.
It's unlucky there. Huddleston did ever so well, broke from midfield, and he's sliding the ball out to Hutton. Fraser Campbell thinks it's for him, sticks out his left leg behind him and stops it, not realising that Hutton was there. A call from Hutton, he would have stepped over it.
He's a different player, isn't he, Huddleston, the last 2 or 3 weeks?
Well, it's confidence.
Not the only one, probably.
Go out there and play. His range of passing is fantastic. We know that. I sometimes question his mobility, but once you get the ball to his feet, and he can make things happen.
Liverpool try to push forward and go, nods the ball up into the air to try and skirt around Vedran Chorluka, but Chorluka collects possession. Chorluka then dinks it forward. Lennon chases after it, but was never going to get to the ball before the black-shirted Liverpool goalkeeper.
All the space was in behind Lennon, and he came short, and Kaluka couldn't get the ball to him.
There was a real he's behind you moment there, because Desena had the ball thrown to him and was looking up and slowly moving forward down the left-hand side, not realising that Lennon was catching him up at a fair old rate of knots.
Yeah. I mean, just sloppy play. Absolutely sloppy. You know, he's just looking at the, Plessis there, gets the ball and he gives it back to Daniel Agger. Agger gives it him back and he's not even ready, he's not looking.
Desena's body language not good either there. He didn't look very happy at all.
Leaks the most vulnerable player in the back four for Liverpool. If I would say anybody's vulnerable tonight, I'd say to Lennon, get at him.
But Desena was rated as one of the better full-backs in Serie A, but he hasn't really settled in at Liverpool yet, something which I think he's admitted himself. So Liverpool fans will be hoping the best is yet to come from him, as Dawson has the ball at the back. 5 Live Sport, 33 minutes played nearly here at White Hart Lane, Carling Cup, 4th round. It's 0-0 between Tottenham and Liverpool. Chelsea 1 up against Burnley. Didier Drogba with the goal. 0-0 between Sunderland and Blackburn. In the Clydesdale Bank Premier League in Scotland, Celtic 1-0 up against Kilmarnock, Hearts 1 up against Hamilton, and Falkirk 1 up at Inverness. Brighton are beating Swindon 1-0 in the Johnston's Paint Trophy, as Liverpool try and push forward now down the left with Babley deep inside the Tottenham half, and then the ball goes out of play off a Spurs defender. It's a Liverpool throw which he's taken quickly. 3 players chasing him, there wasn't there? Lennon, Hutton and Zakora chasing Babel down this left hand side. You know, it's a good feature of Spurs now. Obviously Harry's in charge, they're working together. Casual play there by Torres. He's not playing very well in this first half, and Bale strides away down the left-hand side as Elzar tries to grab him. Ball in from Bale right across the face of the goal. It bounced about 8 yards from the goal. Campbell couldn't quite get to it, but Bale there just about evaded the clutches of Nabil Elzar, the Moroccan, who clearly was trying to grab him and hold him back. Well, Elzar just got caught for pace, didn't he? Good play from Bale. Just push it past the player and run. Give it a chase. And the feature of putting the ball in the box early, I'm all, an ex-striker, I'm all for that, get the ball in the box, but what they're doing is they're not giving the forwards a chance. It's in front of them, and as you quite rightly said there, bounced 3 or 4 times and it's come right across the box, out of play. Just take just a little bit more time, just give the forwards a chance to get in there. Mike Riley's just turned all pernickety for a couple of moments and made Liverpool take their kick again, and Cavalieri I think is not quite sure what to do now, but wouldn't have done any harm to let them carry on. The ball certainly was still and more or less in the right place, but Cavalieri, who was wanted by Inter and AC Milan before he signed for Liverpool, playing for the second time for Liverpool tonight, played against Crewe in the last round, a laboured 2-1 victory for Liverpool that night, and they've not really started very promisingly in this tie either. We will play to a finish, as Connor was saying earlier on, be that via extra time and penalties if required. It's goalless here as Hutton pushes forward down the Tottenham right, just outside the penalty area, right hand side with Pavlyuchenko, rolls the ball back towards the halfway line, and Huddleston, Liverpool trying to close down the avenues. Rafa Benitez standing up on the edge of the technical area, his hands in his black Liverpool jacket, as Zakora through the centre circle finds Huddleston, who again passes it back to the halfway line, and Chorluka away to the left hand side now via Bale. O'Hara stretches to get to the pass and can't. Huppier forward, and a miscontrol by Ngo 3 yards inside the Tottenham half. If he'd brought the ball under control there, Mark, he could have turned and had a good run at Spurs. Nobody within 10 yards of him. Ball comes towards him just under his foot. Lack of concentration. 10 minutes to go to half-time, a match which has failed to quicken the pulse at all really so far. Pretty forgettable up to this point, as Huddleston stretches a leg out and merely succeeds in passing it out of play on the near side of the field. A ball boy who can just about get over the advertising hoarding manages to do so and throws the ball back to Liverpool. They will have the throw-in. 1 or 2 substitutes warming up. Albert Riera just on the edge of the pitch at the moment, warming up, or just off the pitch I should say, as Desena lays it off to Plessis. Plessis forward towards Torres. Hutton half clears it. Plessis then goes clattering in on Huddleston. Spurs try and push forward. Right hand edge of the penalty area. Lennon brings it under control. Then with a left foot curls across beyond Campbell, and O'Hara strains every sinew in trying to get there. Can't do so, and nearly ends up going head first into the front row of the crowd. Well, he runs into the advertising, holding it behind the goal, but once again Lennon, he comes back onto the left foot, so now he's putting an in-swinging cross over. It's very difficult to head those as well. O'Hara's coming round the far post, too much for him. What I like, get to the byline and force a corner or try and get your cross in from that position. Once you come inside, it makes it difficult. The defenders all step up as well. The kick is taken and flicked on by Ngo. Torres doesn't get there because Bale beats him to it, and Dawson allows the header to bounce slowly and dribble into the penalty area, where Gomez, who's dressed in sky blue from head to toe, gathers the ball. I wonder whether Cesar Sanchez might get a game tonight, but I think Harry Redknapp is very keen that Gomez gets a good run in the team and builds his confidence up as much as possible. I think that Redknapp's still hoping that he will consistently come good for Spurs, because he did do so well for PSV Eindhoven in recent seasons.
Well, I think he's just said it's a matter of building up the confidence as well, isn't it? When you think their results have come against Bolton, Arsenal, where they looked like they were dead and buried 4-4, Liverpool, and then Man City away. So I think Harry was saying he's pleased at that win at Man City. And obviously when the team pick up points, everybody starts to feel better.
Bale forward down the left-hand side. Fraser Campbell near the byline, gets the cross in towards Pavlyuchenko. 1-0 to Tottenham. Pavlyuchenko's first sighting of goal, and he didn't miss from 7 yards out. The ball laid back, and the new strike partnership for the evening comes good for Tottenham. They lead Liverpool by 1-0 in the 38th minute.
Well, it was just very quiet in here, wasn't it? A good little run from Campbell just down the side of Huppier. Sami Huppier just seems to get shrugged off the ball, and Campbell, it must be a foot or so from the byline, he just cuts it back towards the penalty spot. Pavlyuchenko swings the left foot, it's low and it's into the bottom of the corner. Great play really from Campbell, but for me, Sami Huppier far too easily brushed off the ball.
Well, Pavlyuchenko scored the winner for Tottenham right at the end 11 days ago against Liverpool in the Premier League, and he gives Spurs the lead here as they try to continue their hold on the League Cup and push for a place in the quarter-finals.
I mean, dare to say, is that the first shot on target in the game?
I think so, yes. I certainly don't have any written down here. I think that was a very rare moment of excitement in this first half, but it was a well-taken goal. Yes, it was. Now here come Tottenham again, and Jamie O'Hara could be through the centre here, and with the shot blasting in, Cavalieri makes the save, and it falls kindly for Huppier, who just gets the ball away only as far as Babel, who gives it away and then commits a foul on Lennon. Tottenham with a free kick midway inside the Liverpool half on the right.
Well, I think Babel's going to get booked in quite rightly as well. They're just all over the place. Daniel Agger and Huppier.
Babel, by the way, just threw the ball away stupidly and was very disrespectful towards the referee. That was a very foolish thing to do. He was out of order there, and he does deserve to get booked.
I think what he's saying is when he went to tackle Lennon, his studs caught in the ground, the toe of his studs, and he fell over. Then that's why he pushed Lennon. And what he's saying is he didn't feel it was a foul. You cannot throw the ball down like that, or throw the ball away, or make a gesture like that towards the referee.
Mike Riley clearly saying to him, calm down, otherwise I'll have to send you off.
I think he's given the benefit of the doubt, and I think Rafa Benitez is, he's like 20 yards away from the incident, and he's shouting him as well.
It was petulant was the word I was looking for.
Petulance, yes.
Spurs then take the free kick. They're leading by 1-0, and Jamie O'Hara has taken it short. Just over 5 minutes to go to half-time. Bale tries his luck from a long, long way out, but he's no David Bentley, and the ball's in the crowd.
He can hit him though, Bale.
Yeah, into the crowd, clearly.
Yeah, there was just not always in the right direction.
Yeah.
There was just a moment there where you looked at Liverpool, you looked at Daniel Agger and Sami Huppier, and they just were all over the place. They could have conceded 2 quick goals there, and there'd been nothing in the game.
Chelsea 1-up against Burnley in one of the other Carling Cup fourth-round ties tonight. Didier Drogba with the goal for Chelsea. Sunderland Blackburn's 0-0. Celtic are 1-up against Kilmarnock in the SPL. Hearts 1-up against Hamilton, and Falkirk 1-0 up against Inverness Caledonian Thistle. No goal in the Motherwell Rangers game.
I think there's going to be a booking here. Pavlyuchenko was a bit late there.
Pavlyuchenko tries to make friends with Agger in time before the referee wanders across, but Mike Riley clearly is reaching for his shorts, and it will be another yellow card.
It was late. Pavlyuchenko, I think he put his hand up, and Agger just plays the ball down the line, catches him, and does a little jump in the air. But it was late. There's no question about it. It was silly from Pavlyuchenko.
Agricultural made a large scar on the turf, I think, on the far side. Kick is taken. Tottenham, thanks to Pavlyuchenko's goal, lead Liverpool by 1-0 here, and they attack down the left-hand side. It's high through the centre. Campbell's there. He gets there past the goalkeeper, and Campbell scores, and Tottenham lead Liverpool by 2-0, and White Hart Lane is up on its collective feet. Spurs have 1 foot in the door of the quarter-finals.
They're all over the place, Liverpool, but take nothing away from Fraser Campbell. Great diagonal ball. He just gets inside the centre and he takes it on his chest. What he doesn't know is the goalkeeper's come all the way to the edge of the box. So when he takes it on his chest and looks forward, the goal is absolutely empty. It's just a little side foot in with the left foot. And as we quite rightly said, he has looked a threat. He has looked dangerous. He looks like he wants to get in behind. He's got his reward. He's made one, he's scored one.
That was a really good finish there from Campbell. Harry Redknapp saying that Campbell has looked great in training since he arrived at the club, and he's been really keen to try and give him an opportunity. This was the perfect opportunity, and so far I think, as well as the goal, Mark, it's fair to say that he has taken it in terms of his whole game.
I think his contribution, yes. You know, while we said that they haven't really had a shot on target, they haven't created a, you know, being at the game and seeing it live, seeing his movement, that's the most important thing for me. You know, and just you're thinking that, well, Fabio Capello's in the stand and he must be thinking, hello. He's got good movement. He's got 2 good feet, left and right. He looks a threat.
And Liverpool need to get their skates on and need to get switched on into this match, because they've really offered a very a disjointed performance. No fluidity, no real shape or pattern about what they're doing. They haven't impressed at all in the first half. Elzar on the left-hand side for Liverpool tries to flick it forward towards Babel. Flag stays down. He's just onside. Hutton goes across and it's poked away by Zakora, only as far as Plessis in the heart of midfield. Left to Dosena, back into Plessis. He's in space. Swings a pass away to the Liverpool right to Dagan, and the ball just bounces off his foot and he has to go and regain possession. It's as though Liverpool aren't really switched on at all here at the moment.
No, it's they've got no drive, have they? They've got no leader out there on the pitch. No one can drive the game forward. You're looking at, Torres can't get a kick.
Plessis towards the left now. Dosena, the Italian, with a decent cross in towards the centre, and Ngo was beaten to it by Dawson. Spurs have got the lead and the bit between their teeth here. Not a very good clearance though by Hutton. It's 15 yards outside the box through the centre. Lucas tries to combine with Elzar. Elzar considers playing the ball out towards the right, but Bale makes an interception and now goes striding away. Lucas tries to block him off. Bale now is suddenly almost level with the edge of the penalty area. Can't get the cross in. It deflects off the underside of Lucas's boot, bounces into the ground and up in the air. It's back out with Bale on the left now. Bale takes it towards the byline. Dagan slides in and concedes a corner, and I think the half-time team talk in the Liverpool dressing room will be a very interesting one.
Great play from Bale, left back, just cavalier going forward, taking people on. Just going past people, going past Lucas, and then, the shot was, the cross was obviously blocked, but Fraser Campbell's so alive, he picked up the loose end, and now they've got a corner from it.
Tottenham's corner on the left-hand side, which is now going to be taken by Jamie O'Hara. Into the penalty area it goes. It's Torres who gets it away. Now Elzar has possession towards the right-hand side, but his pass forward is intercepted by Zakora, and Spurs come attacking down the left with Jamie O'Hara. O'Hara lays the ball back. Lennon near the left-hand angle of the box, floats it into the centre. Campbell's there. It's 3-0. Liverpool have come back from 3 down before, but they don't look like doing it tonight. Almost on the stroke of half-time. Tottenham surely through to the last 8. They lead makeshift Liverpool by 3-0.
Well, Rafa Benitez looks embarrassed on the bench. Absolutely embarrassed. For his really good play, you have to say. Good play from O'Hara. He cuts the ball back to Lennon. Lennon comes on the right foot, and I've said before, it's difficult to score with that in-swinging cross. But Campbell just gets in between Dosena, I think, and Aga, and just cushions the header right back across the goal. Always a great one. When the ball comes in, head it back across the goal, and it's into the far corner. 3-0.
And not pushing it, I think, Mark, to say that Liverpool's first half performance has been a shambles.
Awful. You look at Arsenal last night and you're thinking, well, eight kids 18 in their teenage years, and you're just thinking they put a slick performance together. Everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone plays their own position. This tonight it's a shambles, an absolute shambles for a team. And this is why I say, personally, I don't think Liverpool can win the title. These are the players who've got to come in if the first teamers are not playing. I just don't think they've got it.
Well, there's a big difference between what's on offer here from Liverpool and what we've seen, not just last night, but in the previous Carling Cup round from Arsenal. 3-0, Tottenham lead.
Now, what I'm saying, I'm not saying that, Liverpool can't come back in this game. On this performance here, what I'm watching, this is a team who are chasing the first Premier League title for 20-something years. Now, yes, they're all paid for players. You look at them, we're right through the team, international players. It's an absolute shambles. It's embarrassing.
The half-time whistle has been blown by Mike Riley, and you wonder whether this game is done and dusted already. Rafa Benitez has work to do in the dressing room at half-time. He has the likes of Riera, Javi Alonso, Ben Ayoun, Jamie Carragher among those on the bench. I wonder if we'll see them at half-time, because Tottenham Hotspur scored 3 goals in the last few minutes of the first half. It was 38 minutes before they got their first goal. 3 goals in 7 minutes. Liverpool's players are having debates as they leave the field, some of them, and well they might.
In every department they've been second best, at the back, in the middle and up front. And Torres is coming off, he's got his head down looking towards the pitch, and he hasn't had a kick, and it's absolutely just this last 10-15 minutes has been all Spurs, thoroughly deserved. And as we said, Fraser Campbell for me, man of the moment.
And at half-time, Harry once again is a happy Hotspur. The half-time score here at White Hart Lane is Tottenham 3, Liverpool 0.
Thank you, Simon. Just one to you, Mark. Harry, of course, can do no wrong, and all the time this builds for him, and what's going on at White Hart Lane and Spurs at the moment.
Mark, you can't underestimate the word confidence. You really can't. These are the same players. Now, people said to me that they have to lay a question mark against the players' attitude towards Ramos. And I said, listen, it's not that I've never played in a team that hasn't tried, Mark. I really haven't. Players have gone out there. Harry Redknapp's come in here and he's just told players, you're good. Get out and play, express yourself. Don't worry about the pressure. I'll take the pressure. Go out and play your position. You can see they're working hard for each other. They're chasing back. They're enjoying possession. And there are lots of movement. And in Campbell, when he went through on transfer deadline day, I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm not sure if Ramos wanted Fraser Campbell. Do you know what? He is absolutely, his movement's fantastic. It's third class, and I can see why Hull wanted him. I know he scored 2 goals here today, but had he not scored the goals, I would have said his movement and just looking to stretch defences and his runs are excellent, and his contribution is fantastic.
I think confidence is key, Mark, but also after the Manchester City win on Sunday, I spoke to Darren Bent, who scored another 2 goals, and asked him, what's the difference in the last fortnight since Harry Redknapp came in? And he said he did mention the confidence thing. He makes players feel good about themselves. But he said, look, I don't want to criticise what went on before too much, but he doesn't overcomplicate things, and that really does help.
And, of course, the other thing as well at the moment is, you just can't switch off at the top level, whoever you are and whoever you're playing against.
Mark, listen, this is 2 top draw teams here. And I looked at the lineup and I said to you, it looks unfamiliar and a little bit, I'm having a look at people for the first time live, and then I looked at Spurs lineup and I thought, it's got balance. It's just got balance in the team, and I like Pavlyuchenko. I thought in the Euros he did really well. I think he leads the line well. He could take a little bit of time to develop, but he's looked a lot better tonight. His movement's been a bit better. The goal helps confidence.
He's had 1 chance and he scored.
He has. But I looked at Liverpool. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what system they're playing, and it's just all over the place. This could be quite embarrassing for them.
Of course, and you can get hangovers from that sort of thing. And with something like Torres back, he wanted a bit of service tonight to show that what he can do in front of goal.
Absolutely. He does look rusty. Conor was saying at the start, he usually gets hold of that ball, and you usually see a shot off that kind of position. This is what happens in the first team. Your touch isn't that sure, but you know what? He isn't getting many touches of the ball. So the more touches he gets, the better he'll become. Getting obviously his first team legs back, but he came off at half-time. I just watched his body language. He's looking at the ground, shaking his head as if to say he cannot believe this.
Yep. OK, Mark and Simon, for the moment, thank you very much indeed. 3-0 then to Spurs against Liverpool. What an end to the first half for them. Chelsea are out, still waiting for Burnley. They're both out at White Hart Lane. Spurs having blown Liverpool away towards the end of that first half. Conor McNamara.
Mark, you'd just love to be, wouldn't you, a fly on the wall in Liverpool's dressing room over half-time, because,
I don't know about that. Well, if they throw cups, you wouldn't want to be, because there'd be players ducking everywhere if you're a fly on the wall.
It's massive spiders' webs in there and all sorts. No, but, it's the same 11 have come out. We've just been speculating about it here. I'm sure ringing in their ears, I'm giving you 5 minutes or I'm going to start making changes, Mark Bright.
Absolutely. And we said it's not impossible to come back from 3-0 down, as we've seen many, many times before.
But we've seen Liverpool do it, of course.
Absolutely. But with this team here and the way they played the first half, there's nothing to suggest they can do it.
No Steven Gerrard for Liverpool tonight, nor on the bench. But Liverpool back underway now, playing from left to right, all in red. Fernando Torres attacking down the left-hand side. Chorluka with a well-timed sliding tackle puts the ball out of play for a corner. Liverpool's fans were very vocal over half-time. A larger allocation for these Carling Cup games than they would have for a league game. And it was almost like they were trying to shout so loud that the players in the dressing room would hear it and realise they need to do better than they have been doing. So Liverpool's corner from the far side of the field. It is Tottenham Hotspur 3, Liverpool 0. And all the goals coming in the last 7 minutes of the first half. Here comes the corner, right-footed from the far side. Hupia attacked it, but headed away by Gareth Bale, I think, back there. It'll be touched back in by Dossena, and it is high up into the air and easy for Gomez to come and catch. Mark Bright.
I think somebody's injured on the edge of the box. Not sure who that is. Is it Campbell? Huddleston? Yeah, Tom Huddleston took a knock on the edge of the box. I'm just thinking, Gomez has been under a lot of pressure at the start of the season with a few high-profile calamities and hasn't been tested in 45 minutes, not once.
And this amazing fairy tale adventure of Harry Redknapp joining Tottenham Hotspur continues. I mean, Tottenham fans must be so disappointed. The terrible start they've had. They're clearly not going to challenge for anything significant this year in the league. The way they're playing, though, they'd be sort of challenging for the title had the league only started a few weeks ago.
Well, Connor, I remember when Harry came and they interviewed Ledley King, and he said, we've got a great chance of survival. And they use that word survival, and that then, after how many games? 6 or something? You're thinking survival. I mean, it's incredible that, I couldn't have seen the turnaround that he's actually brought. It usually takes longer.
Here's Fraser Campbell, who's on a hat-trick now, remember, the young man on loan from Manchester United. Can't get a shot on goal here, but Huddleston will dink one into the area, and Hupia gets a little header just ahead of Pavlyuchenko. Liverpool haven't managed to clear this away just yet. Dagan down by the corner flag.
I don't think he saw that Sami Hupia headed it. He's protected the ball.
He's allowed it roll out.
He's let it run out.
And it's a throw-in for Spurs. Right. It's been that sort of night for Liverpool. 3-0 behind here and a long, long way to go. This could actually get worse. Bale's throw-in from the left, high into the penalty area. Hupia and Lucas seem to clash heads. The ball is cleared up towards Torres on the halfway line. Torres, who probably tonight is just wishing he was still injured for another week, as it's out towards Babel on the far side. A little bit of space for Liverpool now, but Tottenham players who've got fresh legs, I'm sure, with fresh minds, back in position as Babel's cross comes in and goes straight out of play. And again,
I think it's deflected off for a corner there, Connor. Better play from Babel. As we said in the first half, he provided the one bit of spark, from Liverpool, running at defence, and now on that occasion there, he's running down there at Hutton, gets around him. I'm not sure if it was Lennon, somebody got back and it deflected out for a corner, but at least they're getting forward now.
So Babel prepares the corner. He's going to take it himself. Right-footed, high delivery. Goalkeeper came off his line very early, and it's been headed into the net. Has it by Plessis? Certainly the ball ends up in the back of the net. Damien Plessis, the French midfielder, scores his first goal in English football. And if Liverpool are to mount a comeback, they are going about it the perfect way by getting a goal back so early in the second half. 3.5 minutes since the restart, and it's Tottenham 3, Liverpool 1, Plessis.
Well, you said Harry Redknapp's playing Gomez, so he can try and build and get some more confidence. But for me, it's all about a goalkeeping error. As that ball comes in, it's on an in-swinger, it's high, he comes off his line, he comes towards the edge of the 6-yard box, he doesn't get it, then he tries to back up, the header comes in from Plessis, and he just goes under his right arm. It's a poor goal.
It wasn't a very powerful header, was it? If he was just standing still, rather than jumping around on his line, he'd have saved that. Yeah.
Collects it easily, he came off his line, trying to catch it, was nowhere near it, and that just reinforces it. For goalkeeping positions, it's all about decisions. Do you stay or do you come, and basically, a lot of them are very good at shot stopping, but they're the key decisions that define you as a really great goalkeeper, and it was such a poor decision.
Well, from a neutral's point of view, it's livened things up a little bit.
It has a little bit. We could have a bit of egg on our face here.
Well, Tottenham could have egg on their face if they manage to put this away. 3-0 up at half-time. Liverpool have got it back to 3-1. The team who've come from 3-0 down in the past, of course. Can they do it tonight without their star names? This is Lennon for Tottenham, down the right-hand side, trying to weave his way into a position, gets a cross in very high. A lot of Tottenham's crosses have been high tonight, and O'Hara won't keep that in play. It goes out of play.
Well, it doesn't matter what standard you play. You've got to get that ball into the box to create chances, and they hadn't scored a lot of goals before Harry came, and then they sort of like 10 goals in 4 games or something. So they improved their goal rate, and once improving your goal rate, it's a better chance of winning games.
Well, we say they're egg in the face, and if Liverpool were to come back, I still think it's the poorest first 45 minutes of football I've seen a Liverpool team play in many, many years.
Yeah, definitely, without question, especially, the standards of which they set themselves, and especially the start of the season they've had this year. Usually people come in and they're keen to impress and want to stay in the team and buzz around. It's just been a shambles.
Now Plessis rolls the ball back to Agger, and then he hooks it with his left foot up to the halfway line. El Jard just about keeps that in play, rolls it infield to Lucas with this busy start to the second half. I haven't had a chance to run down through the teams in full, so I'll do that now with the ball out of play. Gomez, the Tottenham goalkeeper. Hutton, Choluka, Dawson and Bale are the back four. Lennon, Zakora, Huddleston and O'Hara in midfield. And Pavlyuchenko and Campbell up front. Both those strikers have scored tonight. Campbell has got 2 of the Tottenham goals. The Liverpool team, Cavalieri is the goalkeeper. Degen, Hupia, Agger and Dosena are the back four. In midfield, El Jars on the right, Lucas and Plessis in the centre, Babel on the left, Ngo, who we haven't seen much of tonight, the young Frenchman, partnering Torres up front. Tottenham 3, Liverpool 1. It was 3-0 at half-time. It was a very poor game up until that flurry of goals right at the very end. We're hoping it'll become a more exciting contest now in the second half. As Lennon comes infield from the right wing, tries to turn around Dosena, manages to get a pass forward, but it's straight at Agger, and Liverpool will come forward. And then not a great ball this time from Plessis, and Tottenham win it back again. And that's a lovely touch in midfield by Huddleston, and then he way overhit the pass. Pavlyuchenko was 10 yards to his right hand side, and he's just completely overstruck it. But Zakora picks up for Tottenham, attacks the penalty area. Didier Zakora into the centre for Pavlyuchenko, and his second goal of the night restores Tottenham's 3-goal lead. The Russian finds the net once more, all set up by Zakora. It is Tottenham 4, Liverpool 1.
Well, all the action's been either side of half-time. Full credit there to the Ivorian. He gets the ball from midfield and he just drives into the penalty area. It's just exactly what I like to see a midfield player do. Head for the byline, then it's the cross-come shot. I think it's deflected off Sami Hupia and just comes across the penalty area just to Pavlyuchenko. Another left-footed side-footer from a couple of yards into the empty net.
This is Harry Redknapp's 6th game in charge of Tottenham. They've now scored 22 goals in that time. And Pavlyuchenko, who...
hat-trick.
Juan de Ramos, of course, said probably couldn't play alongside Darren Bent. Certainly the money spent on him was being questioned as to its value. But that's 2 goals for him tonight and up to 5 of the season. 5 goals in less than quarter of an hour now, either side of half-time.
Unbelievable. And, and we, as we said at the start, though, Con, it was, there hadn't been a shot for like 30 minutes and towards either keeper. And, if anything, Spurs looked threatening. But, Liverpool were just a mishmash and a shambles and come back after half-time, looked like they were trying to reignite the game and have gone back. Well, this stays the same.
Well, for the opening 37 minutes, there was nothing to watch, nothing to commentate on. We finally had time to catch our breaths for the last quarter of an hour as it's played forward here by Hutton, and Pavlyuchenko, who's also on a hat-trick now, is taken down on the edge of the area by Hupia. Hupia leans back his neck and stares into the sky, and he's got a smile on his face, but he has given away a free kick here in a very dangerous position. It's about 4 or 5 yards outside the penalty area. It is slightly left of centre.
Well, there's a few candidates for this, isn't there? O'Hara can hit it, Bale can hit it with the left foot, or you can go to Tom Huddleston with the old pile driver. Liverpool preparing a substitute in front of us in a moment.
Tottenham 4, Liverpool 1. Insua, the Argentinian defender, is the man they're going to bring on. Huddleston and Bale, the most likely candidates to strike the free kick. The goalkeeper, Cavalieri, has erected a huge wall of players. He's got 5 or 6 of them lined up in front of this. He's just guarding the left-hand side. Bale goes to the top corner of the wall, does its job. It deflects off Lucas and out for a corner.
Well, like it was on its way, didn't it? And, just when the confidence is up, I mean, crowd are buzzing. The players are reacting to it. They're closing down, they're pressing, they're working the ball from side to side. Just like a totally different team.
Tottenham take the corner short. Lennon gets to the corner angle of the area, skims in a left foot across. Fraser Campbell misses for his hat-trick. He's headed wide from about 5 yards, just wide as well of the post.
I think he hit it. I think it hits the post. Good play from Lennon, swings it into the far post. Fraser Campbell's in an offside position. I'm not sure if the flag goes up, but he heads it down against the post, and I think he's offside.
Well,
it's a great chance.
It's been given as a goal kick, and I wonder would the referee have given the offside had it been on target. It came off the post in any event. Liverpool want to make the change, and this is interesting. They're 3 goals down. They're taking off Fernando Torres and bringing on defender Insua.
Don't understand that. Don't understand it. He's been missing for 6 weeks. He needs the run. He needs the 90 minutes. Unless that, Benitez must think, you know what, I could get more out of training.
Yeah. Quite possibly. Campbell comes down the right-hand side for Tottenham, and after Liverpool's brief attempt at a revival here, they are still 3 goals behind. Campbell tries to send in across, the ball had gone out of play. That will be a goal kick to Liverpool. 10 minutes played now in the second half. Tottenham 4, Liverpool 1. No shortage of goals here. What about Stamford Bridge? Alistair Bruce Ball.
Well, could we have some of your goals and entertainment, please? Because at the moment, 10 minutes into the second half, Chelsea still lead Burnley by 1-0. Didier Drogba's goal in the first half. Ivanovic hit the bar just before half-time. At the moment, Chelsea sort of probing for a second goal, but can't find their way through. Burnley don't really look likely to score, but Carlo Cudicini continues to look fallible in the Chelsea goal. Change at half-time as well. Deco's gone off. Mikel's come on. Don't know whether Deco's being rested or there's a possible little niggle there. Chelsea 1, Burnley 0.
Thanks, Alistair. Let's go to Sunderland, who host Blackburn this evening. Peter Slater.
Don't know what they're complaining about at Chelsea. At least they've had a goal. None here. 11 minutes second half. Kieran Richardson, remember a couple of weeks ago that bullet of a free kick that he scored, same sort of position just outside the penalty area. It dipped over Paul Robinson's crossbar, and it remains Sunderland 0, Blackburn 0.
Thanks, Peter. 5 Live Sport from the BBC here at White Hart Lane. Tottenham leading Liverpool by 4-1. Let's go to Scotland. Celtic against Kilmarnock tonight. Roddy Forsyth.
Still that 1-0 lead. Celtic holding, virtue of Killian Sheridan's goal in the 17th minute. There's been a paucity of action, but still, if it stayed like this, it would be enough to establish Celtic if, of course, the Fir Park score stayed the same as emphatic league leaders. 1-0 Celtic against Kilmarnock.
Let's get a check at Fir Park. Andy Gillis.
Well, the Fir Park score does remain the same. It's still 0-0, 57 minutes gone, but there have been chances at each end for Rangers. Boyd and Miller almost on the end of a delicious ball from Stephen Davis across the area, and then at the other end a brilliant save from McGregor, tipping over a fierce Chris Porter shot. 0-0.
Thanks very much, Andy. So Tottenham 4, Liverpool 1. And if you're a fan of Tottenham Hotspur, the fun just continues.
It's incredible, absolutely incredible. And you know, they're working hard for each other. They just look confident and comfortable. Liverpool have gone 4-4-2, you know, Connor.
Remember, these are two clubs who are worlds apart in terms of Premier League placings at the moment. Here comes Spurs again. Lennon down the right-hand side, tries to get a cross in. He will win a corner.
It's just everything that they didn't have at the start of the season. You know, they've got energy, they've got zest, you know, passion for it. They're really up for it. The crowd are responding. You know, it's a two-way thing. I always say that. You know, you've got to give the crowd something to cheer for, and they'll get behind you. And now the crowd are responding great, and the team are playing good football. Jamie
O'Hara has placed the ball for this corner. Takes a run up to it, left-footed, very high, and Huddleston tries to attack it. Looked like it might have come off his shoulder. He may even have fouled the defender as he nudged in for that, but the referee has given a free kick for Liverpool. And Dundee United have taken the lead at home to Hibs tonight in the SPL. Dundee United 1, Hibs 0.
Yeah, they've gone 4-4-2. Babel's on the right-hand side of midfield now, next to Lucas. Placis is in the centre as well, and Insua has come on to the left-hand side, and Gog's gone up front with Al Zahar. They're making a 2 now. I can see Sammy Lee. I should say that. Sammy Lee in front. He's pushing El Zahar up front, and that's Les Ferdinand on the television. So Les, he's a season ticket holder here, and I think he's been speaking to Harry about coaching the strikers.
Coaching job, yeah.
This week he was told me he was speaking to Harry.
You know, those strikers, they don't need much coaching at the moment.
Yeah.
Bent has scored 5 goals in 2 games.
He must have already started Ferdy.
Yeah. It was just the rumour that Ferdinand was coming in got them all excited. So we've got Bent with 5 goals in 2 games. We've got Pavlyuchenko with 2 tonight. Campbell with 2 tonight. I think they're okay in the goal-scoring department. Juande Ramos somewhere has just got his head bowed and wondering where were these goals when he was in charge. Hutton has possession for Tottenham, whose fans are beginning to cheer every pass now at White Hart Lane. Tottenham leading Liverpool by 4-1. Liverpool, who came here tonight looking for revenge for that league defeat just 11 days ago. That was a game that Liverpool dominated but lost. Tonight, Tottenham have dominated, and Tottenham are leading. And this is Babel on the right-hand side for Liverpool. Cuts in and lays a pass off to Placis, who has scored Liverpool's goal tonight. Forward to Ngo, and then Ngo loses the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Bale heads it away. O'Hara touches it down. Huddleston, who's having a good game in front of the watching Fabio Capello, gets it up as far as Pavlyuchenko, and a little acrobatic flick finds Fraser Campbell. Those two have played well together tonight. Pavlyuchenko spreads it. It's show-off football now from Spurs onto the chest of O'Hara. Exchanges passes with Huddleston. Huddleston turns back and gives it to Chorluka, and still they cheer every pass, as I'm sure you can hear in the background. Huddleston rolls the ball under his studs and gives it short to Zakor. But each Tottenham player is saying, I hope I don't give away the ball now, because they've put together close to 30 passes at this stage.
Can't get any pressure on the ball. Benitez is in front of us, he's saying come across. Now the players are just touching it around. It's exactly what you should be doing when you're winning.
Tottenham still have possession. They go back to their goalkeeper, and now Gomez has walloped it. It had to be Gomez to bring that to an end, didn't it? That's the sort of season he's had.
It was like 15, 20 passes. And, you know, I always say that, you know, for me, when you play against Spurs, I used to in the old days, they're an on-top team. If they get on top of you, they can actually merge you with their football.
Campbell comes forward for Tottenham. It was a handball off Insua, but they don't hold on to possession here, and Liverpool will come away now, and it's Insua on the left-hand side, up looking for Ngo, and he's easily dealt with by Dawson, and Dawson clears it away to the right-hand side, and a second goal in quick succession for Dundee United. They lead Hibs by 2-0 at the moment. Tottenham 4, Liverpool 1 here, and if you're just joining our coverage, this was a very dull game until we reached the 37th minute mark, when the goals all started. Campbell has scored twice, Pavlyuchenko has scored twice, Plessis has got one for Liverpool. Tottenham on the attack here, but a little touch from Desena back to his goalkeeper, and that's cleared up towards the halfway line. Was that a hand from Babel? Referee was happy it wasn't, and he receives a pass and allows it to carry through to Degan, and then Babel goes down under a challenge from O'Hara, and this time the referee says it is a free kick for Liverpool. Babel takes it quickly to Lucas to Degan on the right hand side. O'Hara comes in to try and close him down. El Jar to Babel, midway inside the Tottenham half now, forward to Lucas, now El Jar again just outside the penalty area, weaves in towards the D, and he's gone a long way here. He's taken a few defenders out of this. Eventually the shot is drilled in, but deflected off Dawson, up into the air, and out for a corner kick to Liverpool.
Well, good play, good shot from the substitute, and He's just come on, left hand side, he cut in, but Alzar, he did ever so well there, cutting in across the 18-yard box and then just teeing up Insua. And I think the shot was off target, but anyway, it's got a corner, another chance.
Fernando Torres started tonight for Liverpool. He's been taken off early in the second half. His body language was not that of a happy man on his return after a long time out. So, corner to Liverpool, far side of the field from us. The left as they come forward, Babel placing the ball, and Liverpool have only got 4 or 5 players waiting for it in the centre. Here it comes, swung into the centre. Sami Hyypiä nods it down onto the ground beyond the goalkeeper Gomez, and Liverpool have got a second goal on the night. Hyypiä's goal, Tottenham 4, Liverpool 2.
Well, I can tell you again, Connor, I mean, I don't feel I'm speaking out of turn here. Gomez is having an absolute shocker. The goalkeeper, this is the second corner from this side, it's swung in. Gomez comes, he's got 2 fists up in the air, he's behind Sami Hyypiä. How he expects to punch the ball behind the defender, I don't know. Sami Hyypiä just nods it down into the empty net. That is a position, I don't care what anybody says, that Harry Redknapp will address.
It seems one man's mission to destroy an otherwise team that's playing in top form.
The team are playing so well, and it's just only a half decent. I mean, he's just got no confidence. And it's just terrible. I mean, I just feel like I'm picking on him. I'm not. Every time I see him, he drops a clanger. And, you know, this is like, he's only had 2 things to deal with, 2 real crosses, and he's misjudged both of them. They've ended up in the back of the net.
The tale of woe of Aurelio Gomez continues. He cost almost £8 million in the summer, and he has not impressed at any stage. And One day Ramos would have been pulling his hair out at some of the performances. Harry Redknapp, despite the fact that Tottenham are winning games, will also be feeling we've got to sort out this goalkeeper situation.
There's only so long you can give somebody. And listen, they're on a great run as well, and he's in goals as well. So, you know, he could justifiably say I'm part of this good run.
I believe we're getting some news from elsewhere as Tottenham lead Liverpool by 4-2. There's a goal at the Stadium of Light for Peter Slater.
Roque Santa Cruz only been on the field 2 minutes, and he's put Blackburn Rovers in front. Cross in from the left. Big Chris Samba, the central defender, nodded it on, and there was Santa Cruz with his head about 6 yards out to nod the ball past Martin Fulop. Not sure but Blackburn deserve it, but they've scored it. It's Sunderland 0, Blackburn 1.
Thanks very much, Peter. Liverpool's frustrations here at White Hart Lane spilling over, and Lucas has gone in late on Jamie O'Hara, and he has picked up a yellow card. The most recent goal, by the way, of the 6 we've now had at White Hart Lane. Can you believe that we were describing this as a dull and boring game not so long ago? Sami Hyypiä's goal, his first since he scored one in the Champions League against Arsenal last April.
Well, It was a simple goal, trust me. All he had to do was just keep his eye on the ball and head it down. He must have been 2 yards off the line. It was simple header. Terrible goalkeeping error.
Liverpool's first goal tonight came from Damien Plessis, and he has now been replaced by Xabi Alonso. So Alonso coming into the centre of midfield alongside Lucas. Liverpool still 2 goals behind here at White Hart Lane. A game that has become more and more interesting and more intriguing as it goes on. And now Babel picks up the ball in frustration, and he's pushing Zakor on the chest and the stomach to try and get him to back away the full 10 yards. And Mike Riley comes across and just asks for a little bit of calm. And Rafa Benitez had pounced right to the edge of his technical area there, and he's got to sheepishly turn back towards his seat. Tottenham 4, Liverpool 2. 2 goals for Pavlyuchenko, 2 goals for Campbell. That's Tottenham's 4. And then Plessis and Hupia scoring for Liverpool, who are on the attack now with Agger on the left-hand side. Back to Alonso, first touching the ball for the Spaniards, rolls it low to Babel. And Babel then gives it forward to the edge of the area. There might be a chance for El Jar, and Gomez spills the ball again for what should have been a routine save, and then he just scrambles to manage to pick the ball up.
It takes the sting out of it, doesn't it? It comes straight at him outside the 18-yard box, and it comes forward a couple of yards, and he manages to dive and collect it to the second attempt.
It's like watching a car crash in slow motion when you see the ball entering Gomez's penalty area.
Well, I don't know. I fear for him. I know he should be impartial here, but his confidence is shattered, and when the ball goes in the box, you're just thinking, stay on your line, stay where you are, let the defenders deal with it.
Well, when he played in Holland, Gomez had the nickname the Octopus, which initially we all imagined was because he had really long arms and he could stretch, and maybe it was just that he was a bit slippery, a bit jelly-like. There's a long clearance from Chorluka for Tottenham, goes deep into the Liverpool half. It won't find Pavlyuchenko, and picked up by Xabi Alonso, rolls it to his right-hand side. Babel creeps his way into the Tottenham half, lays it off to his right-hand side. Little touch from Degen encourages Babel to get into a crossing position. He's got Zakora just in front of him. A few tricks from Babel, several tricks. He's now had to retreat back towards his halfway line. He still has the ball, and he's about to work his way towards the edge of the penalty area, lays it off, and then a Tottenham leg comes in. It's that of Zakora. Babel still going, but it's cleared away. We're past the midway point of the second half. Tottenham 4, Liverpool 2. Here is Simon Brotherton.
Thanks, Connor. Liverpool in possession with Xavi Alonso not long on as a substitute. Inside to Lucas up to the edge of the penalty area. Degen into the box. Gomez comes out. The ball is blocked by the goalkeeper, who is injured, and ball rolls out of the box. The goalkeeper stays motionless on the floor. Degen is fine, and on rush the Tottenham Hotspur medical team to tend to Aurelio Gomez. It really hasn't been his night so far, and there's some urgency about it, actually. I think he may be quite badly injured there. We hope not, but he doesn't look very comfortable at all. I think he is moving, but he stayed down. The medical team were on very, very quickly and signalled for backup very, very quickly, and Gomez still lying on his side in the penalty area.
Yeah, Philip Degen, the right back, in a bit of a collision. For me, I thought it was minimum amount of contact. I didn't think it was a very hard challenge at all.
Certainly didn't get the impression that the Liverpool player had gone in hard on the goalkeeper and injured him, but there was a collision between the pair of them, and obviously Degen's boot presumably has done some damage, and Gomez is on the floor still, and while he continues to receive some treatment, let's head off across London to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea playing Burnley. Alistair Bruce-Ball.
You join us as Didier Drogba, the goal scorer, makes his exit for the evening. Midway through the second half, his goal separates the two teams. Chelsea 1, Burnley 0. De Santo has come on for Chelsea. I've seen Chelsea a couple of times this season, and they've been excellent. Not tonight. Disjointed, not really convincing at the moment. Burnley still working very hard in this second half, obviously still in the game, just 1-0 down, but the likeliest way they're going to score, I think, again, is a Kudicini mistake. We saw a cross a few minutes ago, just had a horrible flap at a corner. So at the moment, Chelsea 1, Burnley 0. Hasn't been a cracker.
Thanks, Alistair. Let's get an update from the SPL from Celtic. They're playing Kilmarnock tonight. Roddy Forsyth.
Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0. That goal scored by Killian Sheridan as early as the 17th minute. Celtic totally in charge, or almost completely in charge of the game, and comparatively untroubled, but at only 1-0, and in this lack of atmosphere, they can never be quite sure. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Thanks, Roddy. The medical teams are all around Gomez, the Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper at the moment. The orange stretcher Hotspur is out. He's not on it yet. There are about half a dozen people around him at the moment. There's a goal at Stamford Bridge. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Well, I told you Burnley weren't out of it. It wasn't Kudicini's fault, but Chelsea have been sloppy all night. Adi Akinbaye has come off the bench to level the scores with just over 20 minutes to play. Chelsea won, Burnley won. It was Eagles who got in down the left-hand side. His shot from a tight angle was brilliantly saved by Kudicini with his left hand, but the rebound fell to Akinbaye and he tucked it into the bottom corner. He's just getting booked for celebrating by taking his shirt off. Chelsea won, Burnley won, 21 minutes to play.
And the news for Aurelio Gomez doesn't look very good. He's still being treated on the floor, but he has yet to leave the field. But Cesar Sanchez, the Spanish goalkeeper on loan from Real Zaragoza, has taken his tracksuit top off and will come on for his Tottenham debut in just a few moments. There's been a goal at the Stadium of Light, Sunderland-Blackburn. Peter Slater.
There have been 2 goals at the Stadium of Light. First of all, Blackburn went 2-0 in front. Matt Derbyshire's low cross. The goalkeeper got one hand to it as it went past him, and Danny Collins put the ball into his own net. A moment later, though, Kenwyne Jones has brought Sunderland back into the game with a low shot that beat Paul Robinson at the far post. It's Sunderland 1, Blackburn 2.
Thanks, Peter. Mark Bright alongside me here as Aurelio Gomez is still being treated on the pitch. It's obviously a serious injury. We can't see him at the moment. He's shielded by the medical people who are looking after him. It looked fairly innocuous at the time, didn't it, when Dagan ran in?
It did. There was no slide, there was no challenge with studs. It wasn't a collision of two bodies. Dagan stayed on his feet, and as Gomez came out to collect the ball, I think it was his right foot. Left foot made a little bit of contact with his hand stroke midriff, and the right foot, as he tried to step over, just clipped the side of his head. Now, for me, on my first view of it, I thought there was nothing in it. Obviously, there must be something in it now. He looks like he's got his neck all strapped and everything, but it didn't look like there was enough contact. You know, there was no collision there. It was just a brush with the shin against the head. So, you know, hopefully he's okay. But, you know, there's like 6 people around him. I think they're all going to sort of assist him onto the stretcher.
Well, we sincerely hope that he's okay, and that most of what's happening out there, we hope, is merely a precautionary measure to make sure that he's all right, because, of course, if you have hurt your neck, you need to take every care possible. That's what's happening now. I think they will move Gomez very, very shortly, and he will leave the field of play. Cesar Sanchez is still waiting to come on. Meanwhile, let's go to Fir Park, Motherwell against Rangers. An update from Andy Gillis.
We've got 17 minutes of normal time left to play, Simon, and it's still Motherwell 0, Rangers 0, and with the situation at Celtic Park, if that remains as it is, Rangers will trail Celtic by 4 points by the end of this game, and I'm fully aware, I think, of the situation and becoming increasingly concerned they can't break the deadlock. Lots of shots, lots of saves, but as yet unable to get past Smith and the Motherwell goal. Motherwell 0, Rangers 0.
Well, thanks, Andy. A reminder, Celtic 1-0 up against Kilmarnock. It's Dundee United 2, Hibs 0, Hearts 1, Hamilton 0, and Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0, Falkirk 1. Brighton, the last I heard, 1 up against Swindon in the Johnston's Paint Trophy Southern Section quarter-final. Chelsea Burnley 1-1. Adi Akinbaye with the equaliser for Burnley, and Sunderland 1, Blackburn Rovers 2. And the applause you may be able to hear in the background is for Aurelio Gomez, the Tottenham goalkeeper, who has been strapped onto the stretcher and is now being carried from the field towards us, towards the halfway line. And Cesar Sanchez, the Spanish goalkeeping replacement, comes on for his Tottenham debut, not in the circumstances he would have liked, but let's hope that Gomez is okay. He is being given oxygen at the moment as he leaves the field very, very slowly. He's about to disappear down the tunnel, and Jamie O'Hara kicks the ball towards Diego Cavalieri, the Liverpool goalkeeper, and with a rather more subdued atmosphere around White Hart Lane, it must be said, because unfortunately it does look like a serious injury. We hope it's not. Gomez leaves the arena, and Tottenham come forward with Campbell up to the edge of the penalty area. Zakora goes in with Hupia. Campbell's there in the box, and Javi Alonso, who's on as a substitute, slides in and puts the ball behind, and it's a Tottenham Hotspur corner. 4-2 they lead.
Well, Javi Alonso trying to recover a little bit, just, you know, a man who you think would have started the game, that had a little bit more drive and a direction about them. But, you know, it's as you quite rightly said there, it's a bit more subdued now. It was carnival atmosphere before, 6 goals, and we thought there could be still more. Seems like the game's obviously ground to a halt.
Jamie O'Hara with the corner from the left. It hangs high in the air. Dawson goes up for it, breaks loose. Huddleston thumps it in. This time it goes high over the bar and into the crowd. He had a shot from behind the D, from way outside the area, direct from a corner, volleyed it first time into the back of the net last week against Dinamo Zagreb, but not that time. Joe Jordan goes wandering out to the edge of the technical area. Goal at Celtic. Roddy Forsyth.
And a goal for Celtic. That should pretty well tie up this victory for them. I don't think Kilmarnock will trouble them again this evening. And again, it was Sheridan, Donati's shot, rebounding from the goalkeeper, couldn't hold it, and it was lashed in by Sheridan. So now, challenge, gauntlet thrown down to Rangers.
Absolutely. Celtic 2 up then against Kilmarnock. Motherwell 0, Rangers 0, the latest score from Fir Park. 4-2 here. Tottenham lead Liverpool as Dagan plays the ball forward. It's cleared away by Dawson towards the halfway line. Javi Alonso goes over it with Campbell. Campbell wins the ball and Alonso ends up on top of him. And Campbell will have felt the force of that, but he's picked him up pretty quickly and the game has continued. Maybe Tottenham, Mark, took that free kick too quickly for their own good.
Just see Joe Jordan's body language just in front of us, throwing his head back as if to say, what on earth, we're 4-2 up. You know, you're looking like you're 4-2 down, the way the urgency you took that with. Take your time a little bit.
It was a great moment about 5 minutes before Gomez was injured. I'll get back to that in a moment because Campbell has got possession for Spurs, right of centre, into the Liverpool half, away to the far side, and Alan Hutton, former Rangers man, will lay the ball back shortly in towards Huddleston. Huddleston's about 35-40 yards from the goal, which is always within range for him. He's challenged, goes down, no foul, says the referee.
I think he's played on.
He's playing on because Tottenham has still got possession. Hutton now, into the centre it goes, chested down by Campbell, doesn't quite fall for Pavlyuchenko, does fall for Javi Alonso. He gives a bit more solidity and class to the centre of that Liverpool midfield now as Eljar plays it forward to Ngo, the young Frenchman, turns and lays it to his left to Insua now with a cross into the penalty area. Lucas goes up for the header and an easy first touch for Sanchez in the Tottenham goal.
He makes a little bit of it, doesn't he?
Well, he wanted to make sure, didn't he? I guess.
It just drops down with his whole body on top of the ball. It's looking at it now, you just think the shapes remain the same here for Spurs. Still moving the ball around quite well. Obviously the break just takes the pace out of the game.
It's a great moment a few minutes ago. Joe Jordan was wandering around in the technical area, and then I suddenly noticed he was standing almost right behind Rafa Benitez. And I thought, well, if Benitez turns round, he's going to be faced by Joe Jordan. And I thought, I'm not sure whether Joe Jordan knows where he is. And sure enough, he went to sit down next to Sammy Lee. And then suddenly realised where he was. And quickly went back towards Harry and Kevin Bond.
It is his first game.
Now, Hutton forward, down the right for Tottenham Hotspur. It goes down, it's a free kick to Spurs, about 10-15 yards outside the penalty area on the right-hand side.
I think he has to be careful, Lucas.
Yes, he's already been booked, hasn't he, Mark?
Yes. We'll just add insult to injury, the performance here from Liverpool tonight.
And Joe Jordan goes back to the right seat this time as Tottenham prepare to take a free kick here. 5 Live Sport, Tottenham 4, Liverpool 2. 2 goals each for Campbell and Pavlyuchenko as O'Hara takes a free kick into the penalty area, volleyed away with the left foot of Javi Alonso, and Dosena tries to complete the clearance. Eljar with an extravagant overhead kick which merely falls to a Tottenham player, and Tottenham have it on the halfway line again with Gareth Bale on the left hand side, skips away from Ryan Babel, moves in field, crosses the ball right across the face of the penalty box, right on the 18-yard line, collected by the right hand angle of the box by Lennon, goes towards the byline, gets the cross into the centre, nobody there, headed up in the air by Dagan, bounces outside the area, shot from Huddleston, and it spins off the outside of his left boot and curls away and ends up down near the corner flag rather than in the back of the net.
What a cross from Aaron Lennon. I mean, you know, seeing him a bit more direct in this game, getting the ball, trying to drive towards the byline, got there, sat it up, and both Pavlyuchenko and Campbell had gone sort of near and penalty spot, and it just dropped over everybody in the penalty area. I thought that was a fantastic ball.
If you've just tuned in, Pavlyuchenko with 2 and Campbell with 2 for Tottenham, Plessis and Hupia for Liverpool. We had 5 goals in 14 minutes either side of half-time. We had 35 pretty awful minutes to start the game, and suddenly it came to life as Campbell plays it forward. Pavlyuchenko chases, into the area he goes. First time shot blocked by Cavalieri, he just parries the ball away. Hupia brings it under control, right-hand edge of the penalty area, clears it to Babel along the floor, and now Philip Dagan, the Swiss player, pushes forward. He's given it away. Zakora with the interception, breaks loose once more. Ryan Babel now for Liverpool, just inside the Tottenham half with just over 10 minutes to go, but we will have plenty of added time, I think, because Aurelio Gomez, the Tottenham goalkeeper, in this second half was injured. We think he's hurt his neck. It certainly looked that way, a head injury certainly, and he's been stretchered off as the offside flag goes up against Dagan as he races into the penalty area. Let's get an update from Motherwell. They're playing Rangers tonight. Andy Gillies.
It's still 0-0, but Sasa Papac of Rangers has been stretchered off in an incident that occurred at a Motherwell corner, and the Rangers players are furious because I think it was Bob Malcolm, the Motherwell player, may have gone in with an elbow on Papac, who went down straight away. He's been stretchered off the field of play. Referee Steve Conroy, as far as I can see, has taken no action against any player. Papac off, and it's still 0-0.
Thanks, Andy. El Shah now for Liverpool, flicking it forward just outside the penalty area by Ngo has possession, tries to get away from Zakora, rolls it along the floor via Nsua towards the left-hand side, and Andrea De Sena, the Italian, is held up by Alan Hutton, lays the ball back. Liverpool still looking for a way back into this game. If they could get a goal now, it'd be a fascinating last few minutes. Dagan just outside the area, right hand side, takes on Bale. Is he past him? Bale goes and makes the challenge. Liverpool claim a penalty. Mike Riley says no, and Tottenham clear. It wasn't a very good tackle by Bale, and my first thought, Mark, I don't know about you, is that it may well be a penalty.
Awful decision, I felt, from the referee. Awful decision. I thought it was 100% nailed on. Dagan gets past Bale. Bale goes down. I don't think he gets the ball. I think he takes the ankle. And I think he's still down there, isn't he? He's down on the floor. Dagan looks like he's injured. And I just thought Mike Riley had a very good view of it. And I don't know why he didn't give it.
No, and we've had another chance to have a look at it here, and it definitely looks like a penalty. Liverpool denied a spot kick there. It's amazing to think that if they'd been given it and put it away at 4-3, they'd be right back in it, because really,
Stonewall.
Tottenham should be out of sight here.
Absolutely.
Dagan, by the way, is still off the field at the moment and hobbling quite heavily as the ball's played forward towards Campbell. We'll head off to Stamford Bridge in just a moment for an update on the Chelsea-Burnley match. Campbell has possession, lays it off to Gareth Bale. Bale lucky not to give away a penalty moments ago. His ball into the penalty area at the other end, cleared away by Liverpool up towards the halfway line. Liverpool have possession. Let's head to Stamford Bridge now. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Premier League leaders Chelsea being frustrated. 9 minutes away from extra time now. Chelsea 1, Burnley 1. Drogba's goal in the first half cancelled out by Akinbaye coming off the bench. Kudicini making a good save from Chris Eagles. Akinbaye poked in the rebound. Chelsea paying for a little bit of a sloppy performance at the back this evening. Remains Chelsea 1, Burnley 1.
Thanks very much, Alistair, there, as Dagan hobbles back onto the field. He came limping down the touchline, complaining to Sammy Lee and Rafa Benitez that he fouled me, and they basically said, get on with it and get on the pitch and stop moaning. He can hardly walk at the moment, but they wouldn't let the physio go near him. Now Lucas has possession for Liverpool, just outside the area, rolls it back in towards the middle. Liverpool still trying to get back into the game at 4-2 down. A lovely little turn there by Agger. Agger's in the centre of midfield, midway inside the Tottenham half, lays it off to Emiliano Nsua into the penalty area, and Go brings it under control. Unfortunately for him, despite his protestations that it was his chest, Mike Riley says it was a handball, and Tottenham can breathe again, and it just relieves their tension a little bit because Sanchez has plenty of time to get his hands on the ball and take a free kick. Tottenham, I think, are going to make a change before too long.
I think Liverpool are as well. They're getting their players stripped first, and the one thing you want to do now from Spurs' point of view is see the game out. Do not give Liverpool any more encouragement, because quite rightly you said, had they got that penalty, probably would have scored.
Pavlyuchenko into the box, flag up far side.
Probably got that penalty, and then it's panic stations for the rest of the game. It's Derby.
Inverness 1, Falkirk 1 is the latest score, and Brighton 2, Swindon 0. That's in the Johnston's Paint Trophy Southern Area quarter-final. Dagan still hobbling, and he's come off now, and he's been replaced by Stephen Darby, 20-year-old right back who made his debut last month against Atletico Madrid.
Well done.
Connor was talking to me about him before the match. We wondered whether he would come on, and indeed he has for Liverpool. But from what we've seen so far, Liverpool's second string, Mark, not really a patch on Arsenal's second string.
No, by a long way. And I think you just see that the introduction of Xabi Alonso has just given him a little bit more direction as well.
Well, he's a classy player, isn't he? And he sticks out like a sore thumb in that team tonight as Aaron Lennon skips away up to the edge of the penalty area. To the byline he goes. Huppier does well, though. 35 not so long ago. Sami Hyypiä plays more
Yes.
infrequently these days. Did play against Portsmouth recently in the Premier League, but only a couple of starts so far in the league this season. Did his job well though, conceded a corner.
Absolutely. I mean, a great servant. I mean, I played against him when I was playing, so he's been playing a long time, and obviously coming towards the end now, the way that Fraser Campbell went round for that first goal, I thought he just got shrugged off the ball too easily, but very good tackle in that occasion.
Jamie O'Hara will take the corner for Tottenham. 5 minutes to go, plus added time. It's high, he gets his foot right underneath it, in towards Alan Hutton, but it's one in the air by Daniel Agger. Ball goes out of play on this near side. Tottenham 4, Liverpool 2. Another goal for Ruddy Forsyth at Celtic.
Yeah, another goal for Celtic here at Celtic Park. They're in easy street now, and Shusuke Nakamura, the man getting on the end of it, he played an interchange with Brown and then lashed a right foot shot away into the net. 3-0 against Kilmarnock.
Thanks, Roddy. A reminder, it's 0-0 between Motherwell and Rangers. Elsewhere in the Carling Cup fourth round, Chelsea 1, Burnley 1. Drogba for Chelsea, Akinbaye with the equaliser for Burnley. Sunderland 1, Blackburn 2. Santa Cruz and an own goal from Collins, and then Kenwyne Jones getting a goal back for Sunderland. So both the other ties still in the balance a little bit potentially, but at the moment here, Tottenham 4-2 up as Babel looked to me as though he pulled Dawson over. Mike Riley lets it go, and Huddleston clears it high and long, brought under control by Fraser Campbell, and then he said Campbell Fraser then, and the ball breaks loose and it's collected by Javi Alonso. Forward towards Nabil El Jar, who has to stretch to try and keep possession. It's now with Alonso inside the centre circle. Alonso rolls it square to Lucas. Lucas to the near side. First touch for Derby, who's come on as a late substitute here. Rafa Benitez urges his team forward with less than 4 minutes to go, plus added time. There'll be a fair bit of that, though, I reckon, and Sammy Lee still urging them to chase every ball, and Ryan Babel suggests something to his manager along the lines of, well, leave us alone. We're doing our best.
Benitez has been on the line. He's just pointing forward. You can see this is a very rare occasion they get their fullbacks really high up the pitch. Desenna's pushed right on across the far side, and obviously Derby's only just come on here, but he's trying to get forward as well.
And Go has gone down. He's injured his left leg. It might be his left calf actually, and
I think it's cramp.
Yeah, it's definitely his leg, isn't it? Yes, it's cramped. You're right, Mark. He's just doing that bit where they push the toes up.
Yeah, they pull the toe towards you. Oh, that's no right. Don't work hard enough in training.
And Aurelio Gomez, we understand, didn't lose consciousness in that incident, and we think the good news is that he's probably not going to have to go to hospital. But so the hope is that it was all precautionary, but it did look nasty.
I think so. Yeah, as we said before, there was no real collision in terms of a striker sliding into the goalkeeper, or a collision in the air with the knee.
It looked like Dagen's right boot went into his face after they'd collided.
But I thought there was a minimal amount of touch. Don't want to pour scoring on it. I didn't think it was that serious.
But when a player takes that long to get a player on a thing and on a stretcher, and he's being given oxygen and he's not moving at all, you do wonder, but you hope for the best, obviously.
Absolutely.
And Babel has got possession for Liverpool, plays it away towards the far side, takes a little deflection, gets it back, has the ball inside the centre circle, leaves it for Javi Alonso, sprays a pass out to the right. Derby, a willing runner. Will he get there? He can keep the ball in play. He's done pretty well, but it bounces out of play. He couldn't bring the bouncing ball under control before the byline arrived.
Yeah, Bale trying to use his experience and get his body in the way, but Derby just went round the outside of him, tried his best to keep him playing, got a warm applause from the Liverpool fans just behind there. And it's just nice to see a young lad coming through. So there isn't many English players in this squad at all, is there?
Certainly not. Fabio Capello hasn't had too much to look at tonight. Certainly, I think would have been hoping to see Darren Bent, given that Emil Heskey's injured and Wayne Rooney's form perhaps has taken a little dip in the last couple of weeks.
I'm sure Fraser Campbell's name's gone on his pad. I know that if I was watching him, I'd have been impressed by not just the goal, his all-round contribution, his movement.
Gareth Bale with a long raking pass from the left full-back position way over to the right wing, and Campbell collects possession now for Tottenham Hotspur. Fraser Campbell, I think the ball's just gone out of play though, and although Tottenham tried to attack and bring it into the centre,
I think it was a foul. I think it was Fraser Campbell pulling.
Yes,
might
it was a foul.
Might have been Desenna as well. Yeah, he got in possession there and just tried to take him on and lost possession and pulled him back.
Harry Redknapp's just turned around and spoken to Darren Bent, who's now starting to warm up, but being as there are only 20 seconds of the 90 minutes left, I'm not sure whether he's going to get a chance to come on, and if he does, whether he'll have time to kick the ball.
I should imagine so. I should imagine they're going to be about 7 minutes extra added time on for the injury.
And Go with a little layoff now to Lucas inside the Tottenham half, forward towards and Go once again, and a little bit of confusion at the back. Sanchez comes out and Chorluka. 9 minutes of added time here at White Hart Lane.
Well, I thought I didn't think it'd be that much, but you know, he was down there a long time. 6 people had to do one of those neck supports and stretch him off, so it took a long time.
Liverpool still have time, perhaps.
Absolutely.
4-2 down here. 5 Live Sport. We're live at White Hart Lane. In comes the corner from Babel. It's a bouncing one, potentially awkward. Aga can't quite direct the ball towards the goal. It's easy for Sanchez. And Tottenham will have a goal kick, and the minutes tick away a little bit more. And there's certainly urgency on the touchline from both management teams.
I can tell you now that, you know, Darren Bent, obviously in form, quick, powerful. He's going to replace Fraser Campbell, because Fraser Campbell looks slightly tired, and that 9 minutes there makes a big difference. I think it just gives Liverpool a little bit more of a lift, and they're just looking for a little breakthrough. And Harry knows any little sign of encouragement, he'll put them right under pressure for the last sort of like few minutes of the game.
When you see an official, the fourth official holding up a 9, you think, well, what's the other number then if 9's coming off? Who's coming on?
That's a lot of time, but you know, it did take a long time to get Gomez off the pitch. It's really important now, especially for Spurs, the way it's been going, to close the game out.
Huddleston flicks it forward, tries to hit it on the volley. It was a nice idea, but it was just off the outside of the right boot, and it spins away and bounces into the crowd. It stays at 4-2. It
was a nice play from Huddleston. He looks a little bit fitter, a bit more mobile to me. Broke from midfield, outside the right foot, it flicked in the air, and he tried a bit of a Bentley, really, didn't he? Laces.
Well, I hope that Fabio Capello hasn't made an early exit tonight, because Darren Bent is going to come on for Tottenham, and he's going to get 7 or 8 minutes here as Ryan Babel attacks down the right for Liverpool. 4-2 down here in this Carling Cup 4th round tie. Chelsea 1-1 with Burnley at the moment. They're heading for extra time at Stamford Bridge. Sunderland 1, Blackburn 2, a latest score. As Bent stands there fully stripped and ready to go, and Tottenham are going to make a change. Full time coming in from Scotland from the SPL. Motherwell 0, Rangers 0. That's a result, and they're coming towards the end at Stamford Bridge as Tottenham are going to make a change now, and Fraser Campbell, 2 goals tonight, goes off and is replaced by Darren Bent. Let's go to Stamford Bridge. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Into the last 2 minutes of added time. Chelsea 1, Burnley 1. A great effort from the Championship side tonight. Looks like they're going to take this game into the extra 30 minutes. Story so far, Didier Drogba's goal in the first half. He's since gone off, been replaced in the second half by Franco Di Santo, who's had a really good chance a couple of minutes ago to win this game for Chelsea. Played in edge of the box and drove his shot wide. But Adi Akinbaye, who was a much maligned striker in his time with Leicester in the Premier League, got the equaliser in the 70th minute. Really Burnley's only chance of the evening, and it could well take this game into extra time. We have just over a minute to be played. Wade Elliott's just blasted a volley over the crossbar, and Chelsea probably will have one more chance to launch an attack and try and save themselves 30 minutes extra work. Been a rather sloppy performance by the champions. As I say, we're leading by that goal to nil. Always looked the most likely team. Have had plenty more of the ball, as you'd expect, but didn't get the second goal, and Burnley have punished them. Here's Di Santo now, the young Argentine on the right-hand side. Is tackled, and Burnley have possession just inside their own half. 30 seconds to play. Chelsea 1, Burnley 1. Back to White Hart Lane shortly into 9 minutes of added time there, with Tottenham leading Liverpool by 4-2. Brian Jensen, the Burnley keeper, has the ball, and he will be quite happy to bounce this down on the edge of his box, take his time. And Burnley will be absolutely delighted, as will their travelling fans away to our left, 6,000 of them, to take this tie into extra time. Celtic, top of the SPL, have beaten Kilmarnock by 3-0 tonight. The last we heard, it was still Motherwell 0, Rangers 0. Couple of seconds left. In fact, that's full-time, Motherwell and Rangers, so Celtic have extended their lead at the top of the SPL. And we're just waiting for a full-time whistle here, and then we're on into extra time and possibly penalties on 5 Live Sport. We'll bring you it all right here. There it is, full-time whistle goes. The Premier League leaders are held after 90 minutes. Chelsea 1, Burnley 1. Extra time to come, but for now, back to White Hart Lane and Simon Brotherton.
Thanks, Alistair. How about that great performance from Burnley to take Chelsea to extra time, and who knows who's going to win that one.
A couple of seasons ago, I can remember they beat Liverpool in the FA Cup, didn't they? It's a big tradition at that club, and Didn't the manager say they're coming down? They're not coming down just to enjoy the day out?
Well, clearly not.
Absolutely.
And Pavlyuchenko has just been replaced for Tottenham by
Boateng, is it?
Kevin Prince Boateng, who hasn't played since the back end of last season. He was one of the forgotten men in Juan de Ramos' squad. I don't think they even particularly gave him his number for this season. And Ricardo Rocha, another one of those players, he's on the bench tonight. So Harry Redknapp keeping everybody on side, inside the squad. As Liverpool attack, Mark, ball into the penalty area, and Sanchez lets it go, and it's half cleared by Gareth Bale. He was rather lucky there that it bounced behind Babel. Derby collects possession for Liverpool. El Jar with a little knockback towards the youngster, on as a late substitute. Ryan Babel, shirt hanging out, wide on the right, into the centre towards Lucas, headed away by Bale, bounces just outside the penalty area, falls to Ngo, who flicks the ball inside, couldn't come down quickly enough for Xabi Alonso. Tottenham clear it. They're leading 4-2 here, and at the moment looking good for the victory, but Liverpool clearly haven't given up hope of a late comeback here deep into added time. We've still got 4 minutes of added time here as the ball's drilled into the penalty area and Tottenham clear again.
Well, this is the key thing now about the shape of the team. Well, I think it's Boateng who just got the foul. The shape of the team now, in order to keep possession, they need some width. And when you saw Bale get the ball there, have nobody to pass it to and hook down the line towards Bent, it came straight back. You have to try and keep possession. That's the only way that you can deny Liverpool, obviously, a chance then. And if they keep giving it back to Liverpool by long kick clearances, they'll keep putting them under pressure, because Liverpool obviously have pushed both their fullbacks forward. They're taking a chance.
Final whistle's gone at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland and Blackburn. Peter Slater.
Blackburn are through 2-1. All the goals in the second half. 2-0 lead to Blackburn. First through substitute Roque Santa Cruz. Then a Phil Barsley own goal. Kenwyne Jones almost immediately pulled one back, but thereafter Sunderland did little to suggest an equaliser. Blackburn into the quarter-finals 2-1.
So good win there for Blackburn. Chelsea and Burnley will go into extra time at Stamford Bridge. 1-1 the score. No sign of extra time here. We've got 9 minutes of added time. We've played nearly 7 of those minutes, and Kevin Prince Boateng with a little bit of Harlem Globetrotters type skill down the left-hand side. To the byline he goes, tackled by Lucas, goes behind. Corner to Tottenham on the left-hand side, and Harry Redknapp turns and raises his eyebrows on the touchline.
Seen it all before. Yeah, Prince Boateng, just a little bit of a showboating there.
Not bad considering he's been on for a minute and a half.
Yes, but then he just did the sensible thing when the ball broke to him and just played it off the defender for a corner.
Tottenham playing it short and trying to keep the ball down near the corner flag, which means it's slightly away from our line of sight at the moment.
Can we?
Little stretch out of the box here, and we can see as Jamie O'Hara, I think it is, takes the throw in. Yes, it's nodded down to him by Zakora. It's out of play, and it's another throw to Tottenham. They've got the ball exactly where they want it, right up at the Liverpool end of the field. 4-2. 2 goals from Fraser Campbell, 2 from Pavlyuchenko. The goals for Liverpool from Plessis and Hupia. We had 5 goals in 14 minutes either side of half-time. 3 goals in the last 7 minutes of the first half for Tottenham Hotspur to break the game open. Liverpool were awful in the first half. Marginally better in the second, Mark?
Yeah, I think so. But, give themselves a chance by getting back in the game. Could have had a penalty, should have had a penalty. That would have made it an interesting finish.
Good play by Spurs now. Huddleston into the penalty area, left-hand side, still going, ambling towards the 6-yard box, and Liverpool, through sheer weight of numbers in the end, get the ball away in the right full-back position. El Jar shows twinkly feet, not for the first time today, but the ball has been given away, and Gareth Bale just keeps it in play on the left. He's level with the edge of the box. We've played for nearly 54 minutes here. The 9 minutes of added time are almost up at White Hart Lane as El Jar gets a little deflection off Gareth Bale, and it's a Liverpool throw, but it's going to be too little too late. At the moment, the 7-time winners, Liverpool, are heading out of the Carling Cup to the current holders, the defending champions, Tottenham Hotspur, and Tottenham will have been worth the victory as Lucas plays it square.
I just think that people will pick up the paper tomorrow and they won't know what team played here, but they'll say, wow, Harry Redknapp's beaten Liverpool twice in 10 days?
Ball into the centre, and Go tries a shot. It ends up being something more like an air kick because he misses it completely, and Bale clears it over the halfway line towards Darren Bent.
Yeah, this is the thing, as I said before, they can't keep the ball now. It's long passes from back to front.
Up to the edge of the penalty area, and Sewer lays it low into the box and saved at the near post by Sanchez.
Saved at second attempt. Not a very clean hand, was it? Lovely through ball there, though. I think it was Zesena who got into the box.
Mike Riley blows the final whistle, and White Hart Lane rises to applaud another victory for Harry Redknapp's team. He's still unbeaten, and how about that when you consider the mess that Spurs were in when he took over? It was a second-string Liverpool side, but 2 goals from Pavlyuchenko, 2 from Fraser Campbell, 3 goals coming in the last 7 minutes of the first half, effectively deciding this game. Liverpool a bit better in the second half, Mark, but they really were second best tonight overall.
Absolutely, from start to finish. I mean, as we said before, 30 minutes, nothing in the game. Sprang to life just the 5 minutes before half-time, the 5 minutes afterwards. Absolutely worthy to continue this good run. And Harry said in his programme notes, winning is a habit. He wants to continue and defend this trophy. That's what they've done. The fans will go away home from here thinking they might have pushed for a chance, European place, just purely on their form. Because at the moment they're playing with a lot of confidence. It doesn't matter who's in that team. Fraser Campbell comes in and scores 2. Pavlyuchenko scored 2. Darren Bent's the leading goal scorer in the club. I bet he wished he'd have started. But it's all looking great for Spurs. But for Liverpool, very, very, very disappointing.
Full-time score here at White Hart Lane. Tottenham Hotspur, the defending champions in the Carling Cup, 4. Liverpool 2. Spurs are into the last 8.